Jesus Christ.
With that, we're live. Hello. Thank you for joining us here today. We just did our level ups. There is a supplementary episode on YouTube if you are interested. But for now, we shall join our cast as we move into level 4. We have Ryan as Madriana, Kian as Dash, we have Rory as Eos, we have Busy as Hatsu, and we have Richard as Slate. Those of you on Twitch, I know I just said that, but those of you on YouTube, you're welcome. A few quick points before we hop into the game. Firstly, congratulations on level 4. You guys deserved it. You did really good. That is the end of that part of the arc. We're on the sub end of that arc now as you guys move on looking for a mysterious fiery presence. But a few things to note first. First of all of you may have inspiration. You may put it on your sheets. You are inspired. You're feeling so inspired. You are feeling the most inspired you have felt since Slate sang his last song to you. And the other thing that I am introducing as we reach our long rest is we had a good conversation about this, and Kian brought some points, and we sort of tried to figure out the best way to do this. And we may have touched off this in some post-show stuff or possibly during sessions, but this is our official bringing it in. For the fact that we're using gritty realism, I'm aware that it's more complicated for spellcasters that don't rely on short rests, but rely on long rests. Westland being a prime example, Eos being another example. Gusto is another example of that as well. Slate, you're an example of that as well. There are, Madriana, you're now an example of that as well. That's right. But there are, all of them. Yeah, a lot of people in this campaign, and it's quite a punishing factor, and it's not what is intended as we play gritty realism. We're talking a more hardcore realism about healing and about like getting yourself back on your feet and using downtime more and leaning into that. I'm not talking about punishing spellcasters. So the sort of meat in the middle that we've come to is we're going to rely on hit die for spellcasters as well. So when you take a short rest, which is 8 hours in gritty realism, you may roll your hit die. And if your hit die is 1d8 and you roll a 6, you could use it for 6 first level spells or 3 second level spells because it amounts to 6. You can do that to recover your spell slots. So the same way you use your hit die to recover HP, you can now use it to recover spell slots as well, dependent on your roll. Generally speaking, I have played this game for many, many years now, and I've never actually seen anyone run out of hit die. So this shouldn't really encounter too much of an issue in the way I play. But we'll see. And if we
so jinxed us.
You definitely have. I can tell you right now, you definitely have seen it.
Started blasting.
Have I seen someone run out of hit die?
Yeah, Balthazar. He went through all of his hit die on several occasions. Okay,
we're not leaning into the guy who stood in the middle of 80 units of men just beating the shit out of him for like fucking 10 minutes in a row. That's, of course, he's going to run out of his hit die. Jay was an exceptional creature in D&D. I so want to pull him into this campaign so that people could just see how psychotic he is in his own way for D&D, because it's like, he really plays it in such a strange way, but it's a lovely, amazing thing. Yeah, Balthazar would be exception to that rule. He definitely ate through his hit die. But he also had like 300 hit points, so it took a minute to get like fuel in that tank for sure. If we reach a later stage,
all day.
He really couldn't. If we do run through this campaign and we get to like level 15 and shit, and it's not feeling comfortable anymore, and that's like it's taking too much away from you and punishing you because it's punishing you on your HP and your hit die and stuff, we'll look at other alternatives and see how we can make that better at higher levels. But for now, let's test this out, test the waters. It's a homebrew setting, a homebrew theme. Let's try and reward some spellcasters. It feels like a good balance to everything, so we'll try it for a while. We'll see how it goes, and if it needs tweaking later down the line, we'll do that. But for the moment, it should be fine. I think that's everything. Inspiration, hit die, level 4. Cool.
You got your tea?
I got my tea. Yeah, I do. Actually, I have 2 teas. 2 teas. Nope.
Nope. Cut that part out.
Twitch. That was not what I meant. Perfect. Rory, I believe you were on recap today for us, my friend. Take it away, sir.
Indeed. Previously on the Wandering Isles, the road to Dagtorp was swift, but Eo's thoughts were heavier than ever. She confided in Hatsu about her search for identity, while Madriana used Eldrick to help Slate master his inner struggles. Upon that night, Eos dreamed of a storm-tossed ship, a familiar figure, aged beyond reason, and a monstrous presence looming. Jolted awake, she wrote to her mother, desperate for answers. Gottenhammer loomed in the distance. Its split peak a mystery Rowan warned them against, so Amadriana immediately sent her familiar to investigate. In Dagthorpe, the group split up. Hatsu and Slate dazzled the tavern, while Amadriana mailed Eos's letter. Nothing strange about the place whatsoever to be known to anyone. However, the barkeep did not take any coin. Their search for Orla led them to a shapeshifter. Chance was his name. Orla was missing, and Chance offered them a suppression collar tied to the dubious Simul Decker. Eos was wary, but the group agreed to help. Drinking an elixir meant to unlock their full potential. Now, as power stirs within her, Eos knows one thing. The real test is yet to come. What is ahead of us, gang? Are you ready to roll?
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
So we stand in the tavern. I believe Chance left to give you guys time to prep. You wanted to do some stuff. Some of you went to go see a blacksmith. We're in the midst of some stuff. And I have this vague memory of Slate being like, wait, at the end of the session. And I need to go to that first because that's like that's something there. So Slate, I will start with you if you're ready.
So my wait was me running after Amadriana.
Oh yes.
To catch up, to go with her. So that's where we left off.
Perfect. Okay, you went with Amadriana. All right. So we'll go to Slate and Amadriana first. Then, as you enter the blacksmith.
Hello, good sir. I was wondering if I can employ your works.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a set of blades, preferably 4, but it's quite time sensitive, so a couple would do at the minimum to this design. And I'm going to place down one of my feathers. Obviously, I haven't, like, he doesn't know I've pulled it off of me, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It basically needs to run along the same shape and pattern as this. It'd be nice if it can look fairly similar, but also act as a dagger, both thrown and handled.
He nods and he thinks for a moment. And so you want the shape of this, or you want this embedded in the actual metal?
I hadn't thought of that. Just the shape. This time.
All right. Well, we can definitely take a look at that. And you want 4 specifically?
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that.
With a view to, if you can keep yourself the design pattern, so that if I wished for any more in the future.
Sure. I mean, this is a very delicate job. I'll probably need to bring in someone who's a little bit more specialist for something like this. I can probably make them at about 5 silver a piece.
I think we could do 3 silver a piece because I'm asking for 4.
3.5 silver a piece so that I can pay for their fare here.
What if I was to agree to suspend some coin as well? Would that help sweeten the pot?
What kind of coin are we talking about, and for what?
The first thing I'm looking for is any kind of a shield that you may have. Nothing fancy. Anything pre-prepared will do.
Sure, we have shields, absolutely. What are you looking for? You're looking for long shield, round shield, pointy shield. He knows the words. I don't know the words. He knows the words.
I think round would suffice. And then if the price was right, potentially a light crossbow if you had it.
A light crossbow? We can do that. Yeah, that would certainly sweeten the pot a little bit. Yeah, bear with me. Let me go out back and have a look. And he just goes out to sort of see, and you just hear the occasional clinking and rummaging, and then like, fuck, and he's like pulling stuff.
While this is happening, have I, in our previous tavern merriment last night or the time before, have we seen this person before? Have they finished work and come in on any of the evenings that we were there? What I'm trying to ascertain is, would he know us, or would we know him? Like, have we seen each other?
I would say your presence would ring a bell, depending on what specific presence you had, of course, at that time. The little girl, not so much probably, but the actual Slate thing, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I would say he's at least somewhat aware of that, yeah. Yeah, he's out back still, but for sure. Well, I'm just looking at prices. Sorry, was a crossbow and a shield, was it? Sorry.
Yes, please. While he's out the back, I'd like to use my forgery kit to create a flamboyant-looking flyer for his shop. So I want to scribble, like do a little picture of him or whatever, draw the sign outside the shop and write some of the things in the equivalent of, marvelous, wonderful goods, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And just do a draft, if you will.
Yeah. He's willing. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I'll go back to that. Yeah. So you want to do a draft. So let's do the roll
for the forgery kit.
Yeah, please.
Is there any way I can assist him with that? As it's, I'm assuming, a dex-based thing. Like, would a Mageana be able to...
That would be proficiency in forgery that you would need. I'm not sure if you do have that, though, because a Mageana has a lot of stuff.
Not if it's that.
This is a very specific thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
What are you trying to... Sorry. Specifically, what are you trying to forge here? Sorry, I may have gotten lost while I'm...
Oh, what I'm using is my paper and my writing skills to, without asking or discussing, while he's in the back, whip up a draft flyer for his store. So when he comes back, I'm going to present him with a draft version. Yeah. So it'll have his likeness. I'm going to quickly scribble, and I can draw his shop front or the name of the shop or whatever. And I want to have the equivalent of buzzwords like, marvelous, wonderful goods, all this type of stuff on it.
Right.
And I'm going to have a conversation with him with the draft that I have done when he returns. So I simply want to prepare the draft, and that's what I'm asking for the check for.
Okay. Yeah. You're... Yeah, you can have advantage on that anyway, because it's a base level thing. You're standing in the store, you see the dude. It's not complicated.
Excellent. 18.
18? Yeah. Yeah, you make a decent draft. I mean, you're not even... This isn't technically forgery, I would imagine, but it just helps to lean into that. Yeah,
no, I'm not using all the supplies that come with it.
You're not duplicating anything. Yeah, you're just using the kit itself. But it's pretty cool. There's a good use for it. I like that. Any way to use something more different ways is always good. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, he comes back and he has like this sort of, it's like an old looking hand crossbow. It's not like it looks like just a small little hand crossbow. It's not fancy or anything. It's not a child's toy looking thing, but it's not necessarily decorated or painted or anything. It's like a rough design of one. This is
rustic,
yeah. This is all I could find.
Does it work?
He puts a little bow in and he goes, and it like goes dig into the wall.
Then that's fine.
Does he have a target in the room?
If he does, he very foolishly shot his wall. But yeah, I'd say probably would have a target to test things up.
May I have a look?
I always forget that thing is there. Absolutely, go ahead.
I'll load it and I'll try and shoot towards the target because I want to see if it's actually accurate for him or not.
Okay. So, all right, let me give it to you. I had a panic moment of just like, she's going to run away with this.
She wouldn't be so brazen to do it like that. She'd come and rob him while he's asleep.
No worries. Yeah, I'll put one on you now in just a second.
No worries. I can always just roll the d20 if you want and add whatever it is for the...
It's just your dex, yeah.
Yeah, my prof. Okay. Yeah, it's like a 25, 26.
No worries. Yeah, straight down into the bullseye. It even breaks through the target a little bit.
And then she just flicks it around, hands it to back to the blacksmith. Good sight on that thing.
Made it myself. Thank you. That's very nice. I'm just gonna put a light crossbow on you for the moment, and we'll adjust it later because that's not showing up. So, Madriana, you have it on you if you need for the moment, and then I'll say just pass it to Richard when we're doing it. Okay, or Slate, I should say. All right. The other thing he puts down on the thing is a shield, but I'll let you describe to me how you want your shield to look because realistically, it makes no difference. So it's something that's more flourish for you. It matters to you more than to the game.
For the moment, I'm just happy with a plain rounded wooden shield, steel rim with a small steel bit in the middle. And that's it. No basic flourish, not really painted or anything. You know, strong enough wood, and that's it.
Right.
And the edges, similar to the crossbow. That's fine.
That's fine. Okay. Yeah, no worries. I'll put that on your character there. There's just one there. And I'll add an image to it later. So just a smaller kind of rounded shield. Nothing fancy, nothing flourishy. It's just a small shield for all intents and purposes. It'll do the job.
So how much are you suggesting for all of these? So it's the crossbow, the shield, and...
Well, if I do the blades at 3 silver apiece, that brings us to 12 silver. So if we round it off to, I suppose, 16 silver, that would be good coverage for the shield, the hand crossbow, with, by the way, the professional sight on it, which, as you can see, is clearly accurate, and the blades.
He's upsetting his arse off right now.
Then I want to put the little draft I've done on the table and show it to him and say, you know us, you know that we traveled through, you know we were here a few days ago, and you know we're going back. Yeah. We know you don't get as much traffic as you might like up here. Fair. But I happen to know there's a very good chance of more business coming your way. The aside is, obviously, I'm aware of the conversation that I had with the Lunarkin about the proposal for kind of a trade route. And I'm suspecting that if the Frosthand Syndicate take that on, this will be their stopping route. So just by coming and going, there's going to be more traffic. And we're the beginning of that. So what I propose to you is that when we return, we're going to speak of your wares. As you can see, my colleague and I know what we're doing. We intend to show them that this is the place to shop, not the big cities. The exquisite craftsmen are here. This is where quality lies.
He takes the draft and he writes on it the best sites in Vulcanus. And he's like, okay.
And I'm gonna hand it over to him, Adriana, to sign an initial beside his change, as per her shot,
Okay, so as Slate does that, there is definitely a second of hesitation of, well, I guess he wouldn't know, but there's a hesitation of, I'm not signing this. So instead, she'll just put like a letter A, nothing else.
Make your mark. Perfect.
Like the anarchy sign, the A.
Yeah, the with the circle around it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, perfect. Right. What I'll do is, Madriana, you asked for discount first, and you haggled. So I'm going to say you make persuasion or whichever. Persuasion. And then Slate, you do the same. I'm going to separate them, so it's not necessarily advantage, but I'm going to let you both roll for it because it's.
Okay.
You both tried. I know. I'd like to see that work out. Yeah.
Just to remind me as well, 10 silver is a gold, right?
Yeah. 10 to 10 to 10 to 10.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So my one would be a 10.
I'm going to use my inspiration that I just got because I never used them.
I'm proud of you, man. Yeah, you always afford them.
I'm going to use it. I'm learning. I'm going to use them. A 19 is much better than a 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys used inspiration and it was worth it. What is this day? Yeah.
Oh, it's Christmas Day.
You there, what day is this? Yeah, absolutely. So he'll round it down to 15 silver, which is barely above what the cost was for the blades anyway. Actually, I think it's below the cost. No, it's above the cost. He'll do a flat 15, so it's 1 gold, 5 silver, which, I mean, in D&D terms is like fucking stealing it, but that's okay. We're doing a different financial system in this game.
I'll put the gold down.
Cool.
If Slate wants to put the silver.
So how much silver do you want?
5 silver.
5. Do you know how long it'll be?
The blades will be a few days. Probably the best of a week. I need to get somebody out here. Shouldn't take too long. They're just in Broader but they'll do the work, and that'll take 3 or 4. Roughly a week. Should be good.
Do we know the person that he just said about? Did we come across them? Did we meet them?
I don't think you guys went to the blacksmith in Broader, did you?
I know I didn't. This is the first blacksmith I've been to, so...
Yeah, no.
I went to one, but it was in the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, no, not them.
Yeah.
No, this is the official. Yeah, the official.
Dash wouldn't shop at a monarchy-approved blacksmith.
The crown is on everything made here. Oh, I'm losing my voice. Yeah. So, yeah, he takes the order, and he takes the coin, and he starts processing it. He does a quick letter and stuff like that, and he looks down at the advertising, and if I get any business, make sure you visit in again. I'll remember you guys and offer a percentage of that.
That'd be great.
Lean in and shake his hand. But before I do, I'm just going to spit in my hand and then
He goes to shake and he's like, he just lifts his hand back.
It's a custom, nothing more.
Yeah, it's an unhygienic custom. And we have, like, social norms and etiquette here, and, distancing.
it means a deal's a deal. Which means you get your end, we'll do what we promised, and we'll get ours.
And I get some sort of, like, infection, I'm good. I'll do the job. The deal's the deal. Here, he signs his name on a piece of paper, slaps it down. There you go. That's, you got this.
I love the idea that this guy stood there like all these cuts and bruises and fucking burns and he's worried about a bit of spit, like.
We don't get many doctors out here.
Fucking Wild West.
Just pick up his piece of paper as a forger and just look at his signature, put it into my pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, what have I done?
Now. Yeah.
Slate
That's
orders like 15 pounds of iron and his name, like.
I just like to imagine at the bottom of those flyers is used code Slate at.
yeah, right. Yeah, so he gets to work on that, and he's happy for it. The blades he's gonna start the framework at least for, and about a week. So,
for no apparent reason, nothing connected to the fact that I just got a copy of his signature. What's his full name?
It's a good name. A good name. It's a good question. Give me 1 second. It is
a good name.
Yeah, Publin the Goblin. It's Brandon Tell, Thel.
As we head out, Slate, I wonder if you might join me just outside the village for a moment. I need to call back my friend, but I don't particularly want to do it within the grounds of the village. And then, I'll head out until I can be safe enough, sure that no one from the village is going to see. And essentially, I'm going to bring back Albie, so that I can get the news from him about what he saw. Because I believe this is like several hours later, so it should be more than enough time.
Because you've basic explained it to me, but not properly. I'm going to come over with my coat and do the equivalent of like somebody changing at the beach.
Nice. Can't you just like turn yourself into like a big like towel or something to cover me? But so I'm going to be casting Find Familiar.
Yeah.
And get him back Albie and seeing what he has to say about what he saw.
Yeah. So, I mean, you head out into the wild, like the outer parts, and just sit sort of behind a building, a safe place off the road where nobody can really see you, but you're not walking, half an hour out into the cold again. You do your it's 10 minutes or limits to do the ritual for Find Familiar.
Let me just check. I think you can do it as a.
If you want to use a slot for it, you can, but I believe it's just 10 minutes to ritual. Yeah. Or is it now?
Level 1 is 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
Wait, it says it casting time 1 hour. That can't be true.
Oh, is it an hour?
That's changed massively if that's the case. That's filth.
The reason we can't
call
sit
it for
in
the first time.
town.
It says 1 hour. It has always been. It's just 1 hour in the case of Find Familiar.
It was definitely 10 minutes before, but yeah, that's fair.
But you add 10 minutes to it for the ritual, so it's an hour and 10 minutes technically if you're using it as a ritual rather than a spell slot. I guess I don't really know, but it's whatever. It doesn't matter. It takes a while. You guys are fine where you are. It's not going to ruin anything for you. It's you guys were in the blacksmith doing your own thing. Everybody's separated for the next hour or two anyway, so it's not going to make it matter. Yeah, you spend the next hour or so trying to summon back Albie. After you do, Albie sort of appears and ruffles its feathers and kind of simmers down. It looks all frustrated and agitated.
And basically kind of telepathically speaking to him, just what did you see? Can you give me a vision of it?
You get flashes. So first you see the flight as it leaves you guys. It's really kind of trippy because you see yourself and your party as it flies away because it looks back and you see that from that angle as your drone goes into the air. You see it flying for a long time, but you just see brief flashes of it like through the trees and stuff. Sometimes it stops and just pecks on the ground and stuff, and then off it goes again and just gets kind of distracted but continues its mission, takes a break every so often, that kind of thing. Yeah. As it approaches Gottenhammer, you can see what was causing the shine. There's a massive Omega symbol on the front. It's emblazoned into the actual stone. It looks like an iron vault door. It's huge, though. It would be way too big for like someone to just go in and out. It wouldn't be practical to do that. It's got to be like 100 or 150 feet tall. Like it's carved into the mountain. And as the sun reflects off it, it just shines down. You can see where the sun has been, because as Albie looks down, you can see the melted patches of snow where the sun had like shone across the ground and reflected off of this. Albie flies sort of to the top of it and looks around, and on the top is this plateau sort of shape. It's like flat and stuff, and as Albie goes up, he realizes that it's not just flat, it's actually like hollow. It's got an inside to it, almost like a volcano. But from above, what you see is that there's a metal flooring, like about 40 or 50 feet down. And the metal flooring itself has all these different hatches and compartments and different things that seem to be involved on it, along with a lot of people walking around on top. They look armored, but in a way you're not familiar with. They look armored in a material you're not familiar with. So as opposed to it usually being leathers that you guys rely on, this is a different material. This is smooth yet like heavy duty and durable. For all intents and purposes, let's just use the real world term because you would know what it is in game. It looks like Kevlar. It is a very, very durable material that they're using, and they look heavy and armored, and they're using weapons you've never seen before, and it looks very, very advanced. That's probably the best way to put it. There isn't much more you see as suddenly a bright, shining red light comes towards Albie, and then that's the last thing Albie remembers. It was just very quick and sudden.
Okay, defense system. Gotcha. As Albie was like...
That's why he's frustrated.
Giving me that information. Yeah.
You get this sense of emotional frustration in that, yeah.
Yeah. As he's relaying it to me, I'm going to be saying it kind of out loud to Slate as well, so that Slate knows what's been seen and stuff. When I kind of stop thinking to Albie as such, I'll obviously come out of it and I'll stroke him. I'll make sure his feathers are like smoothed out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You did a good job. You did everything I asked.
Just a little recognition, yeah.
Come on. And I lift up my hair a little bit because I know that he usually goes up around the side of my neck kind of thing.
Yeah.
What do you make of that, Slate? It seems like something very important down there.
In my experience, they either want to keep something in or keep something out. Question is which.
Actually, that's a good question. Might not be able to answer, I don't know. When he showed me the hatches, did the hatches open out or in?
Out. It might be both, but I believe out, yeah.
Like, they lifted like that outwards, they didn't go in.
Inside look at a DM's mind. At one point in the future, I might need one to go in, so I'm like, there might be some that go in, but at the moment it's out.
Okay, out. So we're talking normal, like, submarine hatch kind of thing.
Yeah, like it's an outward thing, but there is certainly something else to the mechanism and everything as well. There's things there that Amadriana definitely would not understand.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that Ryan wouldn't understand, but Amadriana wouldn't have seen something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, from what I saw, it looked like the hatches came out, so I would assume it's to keep people from getting in.
Well,
at least to most.
Your doors, it depends on if it's an airlock system with another door on the other side, so, Also, maybe don't tell Dash about this. He doesn't want to hear about faults, and I don't want to hear about that again.
Good point. Actually, how much of this was familiar to Deckard's ship? Like, was this like almost one-to-one, or was this different?
That's a good question. Make a history check for me. You can have advantage because you were actually on the ship.
It's not bad. It's a 20, dirty 20.
It would be very familiar in terms of the material being used and possibly even the guards' sort of attire color, if that makes sense. Not necessarily, they definitely weren't this heavily armored on the ship, but the theme looks the same. Yeah.
Right. I get you. Well, I think we found one of Deckard's vaults that we were talking about, that we were told about, that was here. And if his ship is anything to go by and what he had on there, I can't imagine it's anything good down there.
I'm just going to take out the map that I've been carrying and just make a few little notes and mark it on the map, more or less.
Good to know anyway.
Yeah.
We head back in?
Yeah. Wonder what the others are up to.
Good question. What are the others up to? Go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
Before we go, how are you feeling? Any different since the consumption?
It's hard to tell because, as such, I never really feel like myself. The book didn't help. The ooze didn't help. So, every day's an off day. But no more off than usual, I suppose.
What if it becomes more off than usual? Make sure to tell me, won't you? If for nothing else, just to keep an eye.
Makes sense. Like I said, if I become one of those things, you know what to do.
Absolutely. Just like to try and stop it before you did.
I mean, I think I'd like that more than you, but yeah.
Yes. Just promise me if it does come to that, you eat Dash first. And I just start laughing with him as I start walking towards the village.
Dash. As your name was called, I shall go to you first. As you lean outside the tavern for a moment, just catching some air and just chilling, this man walks by, this quite eccentric looking man. He has quite a long cloak on, blue, almost these inlaid star effects to it, and a large hat with a point. He walks along looking like almost like a visitor of a child's birthday party. He looks so theatrical and themed. And as he's walking past, he has this little cart behind him that he's dragging, and it hits a little stone, and doof, something gold flicks and falls into the snow itself.
Oh, dibs.
That works too. So you're going to go pick it up, yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you being like obvious about it, or?
No, I'll try to not be seen. I mean, it's free gold, and taking it. I'll climb down the window, but I'll probably. I don't know. Are we ground floor?
You're ground floor. You're just leaning on the window from the outside. You're like kind of outside anyway. It's more you just chilling to get some air. You just happen to be outside.
Cool. I'll just try to pick it up nonchalantly, not being noticed.
As you do, you walk over. Make a sleight of hand check for me. I want to know how obvious you are.
That is a 16.
16. So you're not really that obvious. You lean down and you pick it up, and it's this gold coin that has like a symbol of a fox on it. It's just this small little gold coin, nothing spectacular or fancy or strange about it. It just has a beautiful little shine to it and a small fox head on it. And some text you've never seen before.
Can I tell what language the text is in?
It doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before, no.
Strange. I'll just pocket it for now and think to ask Eos or Hatsu maybe about it later.
Yeah.
What you up for here?
Nope. Hey, Hatsu.
Also expected that.
Just chilling, really. Taking in the crisp air, relaxing. How about you?
You just chilling at the front door alone?
Yeah. I was going to actually just point of order before I say this. Is there like a town square in Dagtorp?
No, a little.
Like kind of a central point outside a cathedral or...
It's not really that big of a place, but there is like a central point, yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm just kind of heading to the town center just to...
You hear...
sit and catch a vibe.
As you say that, you hear like a window go up. What? Alyssa just leans out.
Hey, babe.
He says he's chilling here by himself at the front door.
I swear if that's another one of his fucking puns.
Oh, because
He's
it's
up for
cold. I
something.
didn't actually think of that. This one's on you, darling.
She just leans back in and closes the window.
What do you have there in your hands?
It's a fox token. Do you happen to recognize the language on it?
He's inspecting it with the attempt of reading it and understanding it.
Okay. I don't think this would be a language that you recognize either, but let me have a quick look, because I could be wrong. No, you don't know this either.
Looks like chicken.
Doesn't it? That's what I was thinking.
Where did you get it from?
On the ground. It caught my eye. So I picked it up.
Maybe a sign.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not one to ignore signs, particularly after the bee. So...
I'm not pretty sure if the bee is really for you, but chicken might be.
Yeah. Either way, a sign is a sign. We'll take what we get.
Agreed.
Do you want to come to the center with me and just kind of eavesdropping?
Why not?
Cool. Guess we'll head away into the center then.
As you're walking in, you see Slate and Imidrina walk out of the blacksmith down the way and head off into the wilds.
Cool. I'll keep heading towards the center. I'm just looking for a place to sit, and I'm not doing anything specific. I'm just kind of listening out to hear what people might be discussing as they're walking past. Kind of specifically listening to hear if there's any complaints about you. Taxes,
Well, people-
I guess, is something like that, and just other kind of conversations that might be going on.
General
About what
anti-king
the-
stuff. Yeah.
That kind of stuff, and see what the local drama.
Perfect. No worries. Where are you going to stay there, Biz?
Why the first few people would walk by, Hatsu would bow down like a little bit, would say, "Excuse me, sir, ma'am, we are kind of travelers in this region, and my friend here found a gold coin with a fox. Is there a place where you collect stuff that was found? We'd like to give it back."
You found a coin?
Yes.
I mean, I could take it.
I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take good care of it.
So this is
he's
kind
kidding.
of your traditions here. Just keep things.
It's
I like that we flash forward 5 minutes and Dash is grabbing Hatsu back and Hatsu's like, "I'll kill you!" He's just like, it's so angry. How dare you! Yeah, I mean, we don't really have a coin lost and found.
I think they
Sorry
operate on a
for-
finders keepers kind of situation here, Hatsu.
Yeah,
I think you always act on that, right?
Yes.
I try to learn these things.
yeah, I mean, I'll still take it if you're giving the
No,
coin. I mean,
you're fine. No.
All right.
I'm sorry for bothering you. I'm just trying to get familiar with your rituals and traditions.
Yeah. Right. Well, move along.
But if you need a coin, I can give you this one. And he
Oh my God.
flips him a gold coin.
What?
Hatsu.
The guards looking at it, looking at you like, is this a bribe? Well,
No, you said you needed it.
thank you. That's very kind. He just puts it in his pocket and he's not really sure what to do. He's like, he doesn't even know what to do with his hands or anything. He's not quite. It's like a lot of money.
Just promise me you use it to better people's life.
Oh, I already promised someone I'd use it to worsen people's life, actually. Okay, I promise.
That's what I thought.
Thank you. Have a good day.
That's just like out of his depth with this entirely. This is the opposite of everything he believes in.
Hatsu, that's a very easy way to put a target on your back.
Oh, I'd love a good training.
I'm not talking about training. I'm talking about people trying to kill you for gold. If you can just give away a gold coin like that, people are going to assume you have a lot more
I
that
have
they can
a lot
just
more.
take. Yes, but don't let people know. Do you know how
Why?
dangerous? Because it's dangerous.
Dash, you
This
look
is a
around
place
and
where
there's like a
people
lot
have
of
nothing.
people just standing there kind of watching you guys.
Okay, Hatsu, we need to go.
I don't understand. Like, where I'm from, if you do good to people, they...
Yes, we're not where you're from. You're going to have to trust me here. That is a very dangerous thing to do out in the open like that.
Okay.
Just kind of whisper, do what I do. And just give it anonymously and unknowingly. That eliminates the danger, but they still get the benefit.
You mean like And while he's distracted and kind of hesitant, Hatsu tries to get the coin out of his pocket.
Okay, you can make a sleight of hand check against his passive. I'm so sorry, kid. We had a long conversation. He's like, I should fix my passive. And I was like, you never use it. You're fine, though.
9.
Yeah, you definitely catch him. That's you prepared for it.
I'll just slap his hand out of the way. Don't even try it.
I thought that's how it works.
No. Come with me. We need to speak to Madriana and Lissa and fix this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you'll learn. Let's go. I'll kind of almost frog march him back to the tavern.
Before they leave, he turns around to the crowd, I would say, and he bows down like a bit, and then he goes,
just like pulling a toddler.
Sorry if I disturb your peace. That would never happen again. I'm sorry.
Okay, I've decided I want to see a whole movie of Dash and Hatsu just out in the wild, man, just doing shit, going through towns, meeting people. That is so good. Oh, man. Yeah, hell yeah. The crowd kind of begins to disperse. But there were a lot of people gathering around for that interaction more and more as it went on.
Just Rain Man, D&D style.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, so I guess back to the tavern to hopefully catch Lissa and Adriana at least. And I presume Eos.
Yeah, so Eos at this point, like you, if you want to do something else yourself, you can, or if you want to be with like Lissa or Ayami, that's open as well.
Eos is somewhat in a mid-food coma after all the chicken wings she was left on her own with.
Belt open, leaning back in the chair.
She's just chilling against this like bench against the wall with a table in front of her. And she's thinking, she's like, oh, something's new. And she looks at an empty glass of water and she just raises her left eyebrow and the water slowly fills and she's like, right. She looks at the window, just squints her eyes in a small bit, and the window's just shut. Okay. She looks around the room. There's a small layer of dust on the floor. She just thinks about it for a second and the dust slowly rises off the ground. Fair enough. Okay. She's a little bit cold.
Nice.
Embers slowly surround her.
Oh god. She's gonna burn down the tavern.
She's gonna close her eyes for a bit. She's gonna take a nap. The embers go away.
As the embers fade, they're replaced with something else. Water surrounds you, Eos, as you lay in a void of nothingness. Almost like a deprivation tank, you feel the water surround you. And as it crashes against your eardrums, that noise gets louder. As it starts to become crashing waves against the side of a ship, and you smell the salt water. And again, you relive the same nightmare you did before. You see the same people, the same actions happen, but you are lucid in this dream. The only thing that changes is you. You see Riker calling out, you feel the rain on your skin, and you know what's coming, so this time you turn to see a massive sea serpent rise from the water and crash down headfirst on the ship. And you sit up. You're dry. You see a flicker of embers as they disappear. Maybe an hour has passed. But you can still almost smell the salt water in your nose, like you've experienced this. It feels tangible to you. The stream is not stopping.
It sits at the back of her mind. It's like a mild throbbing nag of a headache. She's looking around and just... I need that black gold liquid of coffee.
Black
Can't
gold.
sleep. Black gold, man. Yeah. She's gonna wait for the gang to come back because she knows she can't leave the room.
It's not long. They start to trickle back in, Dash and Hatsu first, and then Slate and Madriana. Madriana featuring Albie. Return.
Why do you all look so miserable?
Adriana, we may have a target on our back.
Oh, what did you do now?
Slate, like, how long were we gone that they've done this already?
No, I think Hatsu gave a guard a gold coin out in the open in the middle of a crowd.
Will you bribe him?
Wait a second. Before you blame...
I'm not blaming, you're not aware of social norms. We probably should have informed you. Don't flaunt your wealth out in the open, but...
You have to paint a whole picture. He picked up gold from the street. I tried to give it back.
That was your first mistake.
But we couldn't find the owner of the gold, and here's no place to give these things for the people to pick it back up if they lost stuff.
Anyone that has enough gold to lose a gold coin will be looking for said gold coin and will hear about it. Don't offer your wealth openly, because that makes you a target.
Okay, hang on a minute.
You lied that you lost gold.
I understand the honor in trying to give back what is lost to someone. However, things intangible as to prove is yours, like gold, money. It's not generally the best idea to try and give it back to someone because it just ends up in someone else's pocket, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But the honor of doing it was good. The idea of giving a guard a gold piece.
But this piece looks quite unique, to be honest. It looks important.
It does, all the more reason to keep it secret. But that aside, I'll show it to you in a moment. But you know as well as I do, if you're looking for
If you're looking for a what?
A mark. You're looking for the one that looks a bit, they won't miss it.
Yes.
That is effectively what we are now to anyone watching.
There was a guy that asked for a gold and I gave him one. Was that bad?
It's not that it was bad, Hatsu. It like what you did was a lovely thing. No, I wouldn't even say that it was ill-advised. It's just that I think you need to understand that in some parts of this world, which I'm assuming is not from where you're from, the way you act, they won't take that just so much as a kindness, so much as other people would take it as an ideal that they can get stuff from you for free.
I think you're all confused.
But
No. The bigger picture is bigger than this. Let me show you. Hatsu, can I have a gold, please?
I think I already got you a diamond, right?
Yes.
Much better, Hatsu. You're a quick learner.
the point is, Hatsu, is that some people try to exploit your kind and giving nature.
Many see kindness as weakness, and if they see you as weak, they will act on it accordingly. Now, we know you're not. They don't. I'd rather avoid confrontation.
But then I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If people are so desperate for gold, how could you not try to find the owner of the one that you found?
The people who are desperate for it would not misplace it so easily.
And
Plus,
also,
I don't think this is a spending coin.
with some people, it's not a matter of desperation as a matter of greed.
Did you just say not a spending coin?
Yes.
The whole nature of a coin is that it's spendable. That's why they mint them and why they make them, and that's how the whole system works.
I think he means it's not spendable in normal tender. This is something to be used as a bargaining chip within certain groups.
It has
Am
a
I
fox
right?
on
You
it.
show it to him.
Are
Yeah,
You should
we?
show it to him.
Are we in just the public tavern area, or are we in our?
And we have our little room to the
Rooms.
side because of so
If you're
Eos
with-
can relax.
Yeah, if you're with Eos, she's in her room. So.
Cool. Then yeah, I'll take out the coin, the fox coin, and I'll show it to the group. Just kind of give it a little polish, paw prints off of it, and
Do I understand it? Do I know what it is? Do I have any recollection of something similar?
Let me have a look
That's
at
not a
your-
badger, Dash. That's not a badger at all.
no, that's a fox.
It's a chicken.
It's a fox-like chicken.
Madriana does not read it. Eos does not read it.
I'm going to ask you the same thing. I'm going to clear a space on the table, and I'm going to take out a whole load of stuff out of my bag. So I'm going to take out my tinkerer's tools, my forgery kit, a whole load of stuff, clearing a space.
Slate, you cannot torture the coin, okay?
And presumably, at first glance, it doesn't yield any result to me.
No.
So I'm going to turn to Dash and say, if you please, a moment, and then I'm going to ritually cast Comprehend Languages, which means I can read it as well. So I'm going to spend the time at the table using the Tinkerer's eyeglass and all this type of stuff, and just spend time on it and let them talk, where I can still chat to them while I'm working, but I'm focusing on this is what I'm doing for the next hour, and I'm listening, but I'm not really involved in the conversation because I'm really trying to take notes on everything I can find on the coin.
Just flip it over to him.
An hour goes by. So you really don't have a vault, is the conversation.
Are we really having this conversation as opposed to, like, I mean, a vault would be handy right now so we can store our stuff in case someone tries to rob us, but
But how would a vault be handy right now? Because you're not at the vault. And a vault isn't something you carry around with you, otherwise that's just a purse.
It's too heavy.
Yes, indeed.
Well, you can get pocket vaults.
Okay.
Pocket vault.
I've heard tales of such things.
Yes, but do you have the money to afford a pocket vault?
how much does
Depends
a
on
pocket
how-
vault
It depends on how
cost?
much that coin is worth.
I don't have any pockets.
As I come out of it, I just go, Adriana, did you tell him about the giant vault that we found? Is that what we're hearing? For God's sake.
On that note, Slate, as you come out of it, it has a simple sentence. Thunder of hooves, storm of might, run as one, and join this fight. And it is in a language called monolithic.
Is the picture on it, although it may look a bit like chicken, could it also be argued that it kind of looks like Wolver?
It looks a lot more like chicken than Wolver. Like, uncannily like chicken.
Monolithic? I've never heard of that language. I'll pick up the coin again, and do you think it's... Ah, fuck it. I'll say that sentence out loud and see if anything happens.
Sure. That is definitely one action we can take. So, Dash, you hold the coin, and above the
music
fox are symbols. There are 3 lines, and one of them glows. And as it does, the room is suddenly filled with deer, fox, badger,
Oh
sheep,
shit, I'm Jumanji.
ram. You have Jumanji'd you. There are a ton of animals. I want you to roll a D100 for me, please.
Oh shit. D100.
Well, at least the tavern won't be short on food for a while.
84.
You know some of the rolls you want to roll low? This is a roll you want to roll low. 84
Oh,
different
no.
animals of different sizes, ranging from tiny to large, burst out. The room is suddenly full. The door bursts open. They flood down the stairs, through the hallway. The tavern is run amok.
I test
There
when I
are-
cross them.
There are animals everywhere.
But my initial thing is, I am scanning each and every single person in this bloody tavern to see if any of them are paying particular attention, not to the mass of animals going fucking wild, but paying particular attention, like they're looking to see, like they've done this deliberately kind of thing. I'm looking for the Loki in the pack.
Okay, make an insight check first. We'll go with that. Start there. In Dash, man.
That's only a 13.
It's very hard to tell because you'd have to, like, as you lean over the balcony and kind of look down at the crowd, everyone is freaking the fuck out. There's an old man who opens the front door of the tavern. He's walking in. He gets like kicked in the head by a deer that just flies out. The guy goes flying back on the ground. Tables are being knocked all over the place.
In all that chaos, Hatso leans over to Ayame and he says, "And he said, I did put a target on our back. I don't understand."
Ayami is just trying to, like, she's holding ground and holding stance and making herself bigger to move the animals away. She's familiar with, like, the controlling groups of animals. But, like, this is starting to get really dangerous. They're shattering the windows in the rooms. They're jumping out. They're doing anything to escape this tavern.
I'm going to use Albie as a sheepdog and essentially herd like smaller creatures like rabbits, anything like that.
Right.
Like keep them in line, keep them going. Basically using Albie almost like a hawk, like chasing them out, like getting all the little things gone.
Yeah, Albie's like flying around and like navigating and trying to get birds out the windows and stuff like that. Ayami's trying to navigate the deer and stuff, things she has more familiar with. The townspeople are like ringing bells, going crazy because there are just animals flooding into the streets from this tavern and it's not stopping, and they're bouncing out of this fucking coin. Just herds and herds of animals.
I just look at Eos like, please fucking help, how do I stop this?
It's a temptation to stick the coin in Dash's mouth, by the way.
If things are coming out of the coin, would it be possible? I'd like to get my rapier and try and put it under the coin and flick it out the window.
Oh, it's in my hand, but I'm not letting go.
Okay.
Just cut off the hand.
Yeah, problem solved.
Okay, I'm gonna push Dash out the window.
Okay.
I assist.
No problem. I'm going to say it just goes. Dash, you just sort of start to fall out the window. It's not a big drop for you. You can handle it yourself. You land on your feet and you're just looking at hordes of animals that are jumping over you. You're still holding this coin as it's like shooting animals out of it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and stealth my way around to the front of the bar and walk in like, what the fuck is going on here?
Not only am I not going to let you stealth while you're holding that coin, I'm going to give you disadvantage on any roll you do as long as that coin is in your hand shooting animals out of it.
Like, how long does it... I thought they were all out. Does it, they just keep coming? Can I wait for it to stop?
At the moment, you don't know.
Okay.
It's a good response.
So I'm looking for a way to, like, stop it. I don't want to say the same sentence again in case I double up on the fucking thing.
Did you try saying it backwards?
Zip, 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 zip.
Adriana just leans out the window and like two fucking pigeons come flying out over her head. It's like really cinematic looking.
Like Jump Street 2 with the doves.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I'll just like pushing like an old person with an iPhone trying to hang up a call.
Every time you try and reach down, more animals are like cascading out of this thing. We're at about 40, 50 animals that have just rocketed out of this thing. And it's just happening. And the ones that are bigger take longer. So like as a large antelope starts coming out of it, it starts forming out. It looks like a weird kind of suction mechanic as it's trying to escape a different realm.
Okay. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just unintended hoof it to the edge of the town.
Okay, so to understand correctly, Dash is running through the biggest crowds possible, showing that he's the one doing this.
No. I'm trying to find a way to. out of the town that is not blocked with people effectively, try to make it look like, oh, this is just a herd of random animals have been driven in from outside the town.
It's just like they did. You're walking around like, fuck shit. It's just like animals just pouring out of this thing. All right, I'm going to give you disadvantage on history check to see if you can find a path. The DC isn't complicated because you've been here quite a bit, so the DC is 12. So you need disadvantage, but only 12 on the DC.
When you were describing how this deer came out, all I could imagine was Ace Ventura being birthed out of that rhino.
It's so good. Yeah, absolutely. Like the finger first, and then just like squeezing his head through. Yeah. I'd have to watch that again. 18. Yeah, you know a path, so you start navigating your way through. I need a stealth check with disadvantage to see if people see you do this. You did just flip out a window with animals everywhere. 15?
15.
Chaos is helping you so much. While the chaos ensues... Good.
Just point of order. The feat I took, I can take advantage of chaos basically to have advantage on stealth rolls.
That's true. Was 15 your highest there, or was the other one higher? You got a 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. So you got a 21 actually, not a 15. I'll give you a straight roll instead of disadvantage. You're absolutely correct. So as this goes crazy, you hear the bells ringing in the background, you hear people screaming, you see someone just lean out the window like, what the hell? And a pigeon just slams into the head, and like it's just absolutely chaotic. Any Eddie Murphy movie in the 90s kind of level of chaotic. There's just something crazy going on with it. You run down outside of the sort of realm of the town, outside the border. You run through the tree line, and you just keep running, and you're just holding this thing that's just spitting animals up, and it goes from sometimes just the smallest little thing like a sparrow or like a robin to like these large things like antelope, and like some of them aren't really the safest of creatures. Some of them are carnivorous, some of them are herbivores. It is a mighty bag. There are dogs, there are foxes, there are sheep, there are ram, there are goats. There are also leopards and cheetahs and pumas and all sorts of stuff coming out of here, and things that you don't want to mess with. And some of this stuff has started chasing you as you're running out of this town. I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please. You can have a straight roll for this.
Okay, dex save. That is a 25.
Holy shit, you're doing okay, man. You are bobbing and weaving and dodging. You just hear like it's like the thing just like starts chasing you, but then it starts chasing some of the deer down the street and back towards the town as you just start navigating your way out. For the rest of you in the tavern, the animals start to disperse from the tavern itself and head out into the streets and eventually outward. Dash, you're running for a good 45, 50 more minutes before that thing stops spewing animals.
Well, yeah, I'll get to a point where I'm kind of somewhat hidden in the woods, and I'll just kind of stop and just let them.
I'll rephrase. Going. You run for about another 10 minutes before it stops spewing animals. You have more time until the animals begin to start disappearing and dissipating, and eventually they are gone.
Okay, cool.
But the guts of an hour.
Once we get to the point where, well, if it's an hour long, I'll let the guys deal with
what he has to do for an hour
before I come back.
As it's all going off, I'm just going to go to the barman and be like, "What kind of establishment is this?"
What the fuck happened? And they're like, there's like, you look around and there's like at least 4 or 5 patrons who've been just trampled and who are just laying there in shock. There's like, everything is broken. This is not like, this place has been absolutely trashed. I'll get you to make a deception check.
Shit, okay.
Well, you just went and tried to deceive him, I mean.
I'd like to go up and echo what he's saying and sort of be like, oh yeah, this is crazy. Did you all see that? Like, what, and just sort of try and bolster the, like, yeah, like if 2 of us are saying it,
Oh yeah, okay, you can have advantage on your check. Or both can roll, whichever.
Oh, sorry. It's a 15.
In the disorientation, he definitely doesn't know what's happening, for sure. The animals out in the streets, you can hear the bell just constantly ringing. The guards are going crazy. Like, this is bedlam. Yeah.
I honestly don't know what to do with Dash anymore.
I'm going to start picking up the tables and the easy to fix things that look better. Like if a big table is knocked over, by putting that right, it looks like less. So I'm trying to like just, gently put things back. Certain things I can't do, like windows that are broken or glass, but I can like kick them under a chair or, so just like sort of like making it look tidier and a little bit better.
As you're doing that, you look out the window and you see that Ayami has leapt out the other window upstairs, and as she's trying to move people out of the way of animals and run alongside the animals, trying to navigate their path and trying to move them as a pack out of this place. She's gathering animals and moving. Lissa is just sort of standing around looking at the chaos to see if there's like any coins or anything that she might be able to just grab in the fray. What are the rest of you doing?
Atsu's definitely helping Ayame.
All right, you're both running down the street and helping to navigate the animals out. You're on both sides of the animal and creating this kind of like Mufasa killing pack as you guys run down the street.
What?
As you get out of the
Holy PTSD, Batman.
as you make your way out, my cat at the moment, because she's not able to move her back legs quite right, when she jumps up on the bed or something like that, she has to pull herself up, and every time I'm just like, hail to the king. Yeah, so you guys make your way down and out of the town and bring a majority of the animals with you. Dash, as you're kind of like getting to the end of this, you're like, oh, and you look around and you see Hatsu, Ayami, and a herd of animals just running straight at you out of the town.
Yeah, so if I'm on the way back in, I'll try just, if there's a guard around, I'll be like, what the fuck spooked all of them? And where do they come from?
You, first of all, make a dexterity saving throw for me before we get you to make a deception check on that. Well, there's a herd running at you and you opted to speak, so let's see what you can do.
That is a nat 20 for 26.
Holy crap. All right, nat 20. You're starting to scream that, and Hatsu and Ayami are running at you, and Ayami just gestures for you to move, and you're like, oh shit, and then you move out of the way with absolute precision as this pack keeps running, and then suddenly, like a ghost train, they just start to disappear.
You said you wanted a deception check as well?
As you're walking back into town and you see the first guard, I'm going to say make a deception check to see if you can convince them that you didn't just summon them out of this coin, yeah? It shouldn't be difficult. I'll give you advantage because you didn't get caught, so... Never mind.
That was 18 for 24 on that one. I'll roll again for advantage.
Maybe the dirty 20, or the nat 20.
Nat 20!
Is it? No way!
Nat 20, yeah.
Okay. This is why you always roll again, I guess.
Absolutely.
It's actually crazy. Okay. Yeah, with a nat 20, you for certain sell that you weren't even in the town at that point. How could it possibly be you? You have witnesses now that put you outside of the town.
I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, Dash, where have you been? We've been waiting for you, and grab the coin out of his hand and just put it in my armor and just be like,
oh no, the coin's not in my hand at this point. I'm hiding that fucking thing.
Okay, well in that case I'm just gonna put my hand out like, give, like.
Yes, later.
As you look at the town, it is trash. There are broken windows everywhere. The wood of the side of the buildings is destroyed. Like all the beautiful banisters and stuff have been knocked down. There are holes in certain walls. The guards look disoriented. There is a mad amount of chaos that has reigned from this.
They're obviously going to do their best to like board up and stuff before everyone settles down for the evening. But once they are actually asleep, Amagiana's going to basically use her wiles and her skills to be as stealthy and as quiet as possible. And she's going to go essentially around the town using her mending, fixing as much of the broken shit as she can.
I'm going to say you mask your mending a little bit to look like you're actively doing it not as a spell. So like you're hammering something, looking around, and then you're just like mending. And then you're just like, oh, and it's done. Like you're definitely trying not to be. Yeah, that's how mending. Yeah. That's how mending works. You have to say mending as many times as you can.
I'll add to that as well. Like I'll be kind of.
What was the message?
The what?
What was the message there?
On the coin?
Did you try to tell me one target on the back is not enough?
Yeah, but I didn't fucking expect that. And also, something spooked the animals outside the town. It's fine. it's covered. Don't worry about it.
So I would suggest in the future you let me do the mistakes, because they seem not to do that much harm.
You know what? That's very fair, Hatsu. Speaking of, let's go try fix this mistake. I'll kind of tag along with the Madriana, and I'm going to do exactly what I said to Hatsu earlier, was kind of stealthily leave some coin and notes just kind of for repairs around the town.
Whilst there is honor in that, I would say that I'm not going to necessarily give you an honor
It's
point, but
kind
I
of
won't.
balanced, yeah.
Yeah, I won't dock honor for it either. If you had left just not doing anything, I would have considered it. But mark off as much as you're leaving off your sheet. We'll go from there.
I think the honor's decided by the amount he marks off.
And Madriana just walks past him and just says, I do hope you're not appropriating party funds for that. And just keeps walking.
I'll go back and pick up all my items that are strewn around the room, my forgery kit, my tinker's tools, and they're all kicked all over the place and on the floor.
Yeah.
Spend ages picking everything up.
Absolutely. Dash, with that amount of gold, you have definitely at least redeemed yourself for that. That's okay. They can rebuild better with that. Yeah, for sure.
I don't suppose Orla's sitting there somewhere just fucking like shaking their head, face palming at us right now.
Orla, no, but Chance is somewhere around.
Okay.
Certainly confused by what just happened with no idea that it was you guys. So Dash made sure that, things were covered up. I will count that deception as part of the team effort to hide as well. Because you guys really didn't do anything in that. So.
Oh, well, it must have been like an earthquake or something.
Yes, because earthquakes suddenly make animals go wild through a town.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's precise logic. I like that.
Okay, so
Dash, as you approach the room and you see Slate picking things up, the only thing you notice that stands out is that in the corner is Chicken the Fox sitting there and staring at you dead-eye, like just staring.
Hey, Chicken. Just kind of go over and bend down to him and give him a little
Just walks away.
scritch. Did I? No, I think I might have spooked him.
You've upset the chicken.
Fuck. Well, hey, I mean, this thing could get us out of a tight spot in the future. At least we know what not to do with it now.
If we find out that was a single-use item, you're in big trouble.
Well, I know there was 3 glowing thingies, and it looks like one of them kind of disappeared. So I'm going to assume there's 2 more uses left of this.
Oh my god, that nearly killed me.
So as Dash is saying, there's this a little extra thingy on this. It's actually not in his hand no more, as I've just taken it off him the second he pulled it out.
With the 24, that's really difficult to contest. I'm not sure how to do this.
The thing is, if I'm actively looking for it,
Yeah.
would that be an active perception check?
Yeah, well, you have it in your hand and you're looking as you're talking. I'll say, make an active perception check. I'll probably give it
I will
advantage
say-
because it's like right there in front of him, but at the same time, a 24 is probably outside of Dash's reach. Let's see.
It's also the thing, at this point, Dash is kind of aware that Amadrian is likely to try and take it from him.
The whole
Once
party
she's
is looking
taking
at
it
it.
from him, she's not going to make it unobvious that she's got it in her hand.
Yeah, 16. That's
16, unfortunately not, no.
Like, you don't
Um,
notice to take him, but you notice
you're-
when she's holding it in her hand and she's like, I'll keep this for safekeeping.
You're like talking and pointing it at Slate as you're talking, and then suddenly you're like, wait a minute. And then you look over and Madriana has it.
you can have it for now.
Count it as a down payment towards that 10 gold.
I can give you 10 gold if you want it, but I won that bet.
You're definitely not
Yes.
getting this coin, though.
Ghost is just deadpan side-eyeing Dash the whole time.
I love that Eos says more with
Slade.
looks than words.
Slate, can we agree on something?
Mm.
Can you investigate items like that in the future? I have no good feeling if we leave it to Dash.
Yeah, it was
You
weird because I
seem
don't
to
remember
be
saying it out
familiar.
loud, but obviously I did, so I'll take that into account next time.
Thank you. I feel much better if you saw these kind of things. It's out of his profession as so many things, as it seems.
Alyssa just comes in. Well, the fuck?
How did you do?
Came out better for this. This was good for me.
Figured. Bit of a more exaggerated than our usual routine, but
Tell me, Dash, where did you find this coin?
a fellow with a pointy hat appeared to drop it.
Right. Question. Will the fellow with the pointy hat recognize that a herd of stampeding animals escaped this place, assume this is where the coin is, and come to find the moron that set it off?
Come to find the moron? No. Recognize the stampede? Potentially.
Let me use your words. Did you just put a target on her back?
No. We're covered.
All right.
Everyone thinks they came from outside the town and got spooked.
I see.
Should I maybe look for the pointy-head man to make him aware that you have the thing that he lost, so you can give it back?
Sure.
All right.
Also, if you saw who dropped it, why didn't you just give it back?
Would you?
Good point.
Matrona would definitely pick up on the muttering to herself, dirty little thief, Eos just said.
Yeah.
You can say it out loud, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to defend Dash, Eos, but he technically didn't take it from him, so he didn't steal it. So he's not technically a thief on this occasion. He
I'm
is
just
still a
keepers.
dirty little thief, but just not on this occasion.
She nods. Remains
Also, not little and bigger than you.
I thought the credo was to take from the rich and give to the poor.
That's exactly right.
But you have more gold than I have.
I cough and correct them. The needy.
The needy.
Just desperate.
Yeah, well, yes, you need gold to give gold. I can't give what I don't have.
But was that man a rich guy? What if
as I
he
said,
takes gold to give it to the needy as well?
This isn't currency, clearly. This is some sort of magical item. And in any case, anyone that can afford to lose a gold coin is not the one that needs to be given a gold coin.
I think Hatsu's point, Dash, might be more that why are you to judge who needs it and who doesn't?
It's easy to judge who needs it.
But who doesn't?
I don't judge who doesn't for the most part. Well, no, that's a lie. I do judge who doesn't. It's rich pricks.
Also, apparently,
So-
people and heists with him do half the work. They get no cut either when he robs people, just for the record.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Why was that crowd looking for you and brought it here?
No, carry on. You guys were talking. You guys were talking.
Are you sure you don't want to open that can of worms while we're here?
Dash, what you just did is incredibly risky.
I didn't know I was going to do that.
What if
I mean,
that's a portal to an extra dimensional zoo? And he was the zookeeper and all his animals have gone, dead. 84 animals, at least 6 badgers.
Yes. Have you developed a phobia of badgers?
No, stop badgering me.
Oh my god. Just take your inspiration if you don't already have it. You should have it, actually.
I don't use it.
Yeah, look, mistake, but again, I have no idea how magic works. I didn't know that was going to be a thing. You know, who carries the shit around?
Men with
Do you
pointy
carry-
hats.
Men with pointy hats. There's
Pretty
through the fourth
sure
wall at
he
Ryan.
Eos has stuff that is of that kind as well, and
Wait, Eos, do you have a pocket zoo?
I don't have pockets.
You don't
that's
have
not
have
what I
pockets?
meant.
No, look at me.
His mother's a
Oh,
tailor.
you should
She
visit my
could-
mother.
Yeah, she could get you pockets.
Yeah,
she gave
my
me
mother
pockets.
can make you some fantastic pockets.
She gave me external pockets. She gave me pockets on a belt. She gave me pockets on my outfits. Yeah,
Maybe
pockets.
she can-
can we just agree on something? I don't want to compromise your stance on.
Is it about the pockets?
No, I'm serious. If
I'm
we
serious
are
too.
out-
Pockets are amazing.
You're not here on only your behalf, nor am I. We are here on the behalf of the whole school. If we decide to take something from someone to give it the ones that need, that might be discussed beforehand. Can we agree on that?
That depends, really. I mean, if it's something in the heat of the moment that I determine someone is in need, I'm going to help them out. If it's more a grander scale, like this town, for example, sure, we can agree. I've already made a
So-
sizable donation to everyone.
If
So
I
they can
donate
rebuild.
something to someone, that's not good, but if you do...
No, oh no, Hatsu, you've misunderstood that completely. Donating to someone is fine. It's how you do it.
So I first have to rob somebody to make it good?
No, that's how I do it. You could do it your own way.
Why?
Just be careful, because if you're flaunting wealth like that, you become the person that gets robbed.
But if we rob all the people that we want to make friends, they might not be our friends, and Remington will get a bad reputation.
No, we're not robbing people that we want to make friends with. But other people might rob you because they see you flaunting wealth. That's how other people might see it.
How do you know that the pointy head guy wasn't a friend of Remington?
I don't, but I didn't rob him.
Oh, you did?
No, he lost something, I picked it up.
And you saw he dropped it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And he was gone before I could see where he went,
Did you
so
try?
I kept it. And I looked. He was gone. Those kind of people stand out a bit.
Guys, there appears to be a large group of gods downstairs.
Eos is his disguised self. She's turned into the black hair, pale skin,
You
green
have
eyes.
this guy's self yet? Is that one you got during the level up?
No, that was a long time ago.
Okay.
Are the guards looking for us specifically?
I don't know. They just have appeared and appear to be talking downstairs. She's just leaning kind of casually across the banister looking down.
I'm gonna walk over to the door, put my hand on the door, and be like, clear my throat. Dash, after you.
I could use a drink. I'll go down to the bar.
I'm gonna do that, when two people hook up and they don't want anyone to know, I'm just gonna hang back and be like, gesture to the guys, let's just we walk a couple of feet behind him, so let him go in first. So we're with him but not with him, we can choose.
Is it like that thing where you both say goodbye and you go to walk away, but you both walk the same direction?
Oh, I hate that so much.
Dash, you'll overhear as you're walking down the stairs, you'll just kind of hear the conversation. Yeah, we've had reports that this is the origin. The animals came from here. Do you have any idea what happened here? The barkeep is muttering and stumbling because he got clocked on the head. He just is repeating, I have no idea what just happened. That is not... I don't understand.
I'm going to walk over and start interrupting and going. From our vantage point in the window, we saw that there was some supplies and stuff out the back, barrels, planks. It was like a ramp. They came up through the window. I don't know if something was chasing them. I don't know what it was. Through our room, down. It was the craziest thing I have ever seen.
I was actually outside of the town. I can vouch for that. I saw them coming in. I actually met one of your colleagues on the way in. He saw all the animals come in.
This has that air of like, you know, there's like a car accident or whatever, and you have to hang out and talk to the guardie, and you're like telling them the story and recounting it, but it's like, this has that air where it's just like a ton of people just like recounting different versions of the same story. Yeah. You can either both make deception, or one of you can do double. It's up to you. Advantage. Double?
I should probably take double. What do you reckon, Slate?
I mean, I'm telling my story, you're telling yours. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, do it.
Individual rolls then. That's a dirty 20 for Dash.
Nice. Oof. 10.
10. Okay. What we'll do is, here I see that our stream is flicking again. Oh, I've tried to fix this. What we'll do is we'll take a little break here, and I'll pick up from that point straight after the break. Apologies for that, Twitch and YouTube. That is not you guys, that is us. We'll sort this out now during the break and come straight back. We'll see you shortly. BRB. Hello, we are back. Our tech issues appear to be resolved, hopefully. So let's try again. Let's see how we get on here.
It was me. I chewed the cables.
Shoot the cables, yeah.
Did you release some magical animals into the fucking server room again?
Oh, that's you.
I chewed the cables.
I did
So
not
we
shoot the DM. Huh?
Okay, we find ourselves back at the end of the rolls. So we have Slate had got a 10 and Dash had got a dirty 20 for deception on the incident with the guards. Yeah, with the 20, they'll definitely believe it. They look at Slate sideways a little bit, but it's overall fine. You guys carried each other through at the average. What do you want to do from here? The guard is still sort of interrogating the barkeep.
I'll just trying to reiterate again. Like, it seems to come from outside the town. Must have been something that spooked them in the woods. Did you know you had that many different species living here?
Looks over towards you and kind of tilts his head slightly, and then spots Hatsu, and then taps his pocket, and he just nods. He's like, "Right, let's go," and they leave. So Hatsu preemptively bribed a guard.
Do you
Preemptively
cheeky boy?
befriended guard.
I see you've played this game before.
Dash, I think it might be a time that you take your rest for the evening so that we can get going in the morning.
Me? I'm fresh. I'm ready. I can. Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Barkeep,
Yeah.
may I have a mug of black coffee, please?
Yeah. He goes into the back, and then about a minute later, he comes out with a mug of black tea, and he's like, "No shit." And he goes back out. He might have a concussion. He comes back out and he puts down a black coffee for you with the tea bag in it.
She's like, thanks. To hold on to the tea bag as she walks away.
Yeah. Sure, it's nice. Peppermint tea, coffee. Yeah, peppermint coffee. There you go. You've started a new trend, maybe.
Eos takes one step and she's like,
I can see through time and yeah, I can see through time and space. I can speak to fucking electricity. Yeah.
It's not a thing here, but I can speak to it.
She can see through time and space. She knows what electricity is. Yeah. She Yeah, it's probably a little bit wired.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you lot, but I'm going to go and rest because we've got a rather big journey ahead of us.
Okay.
And before I go, I'd walk up to Slate and just whisper, I didn't tell him anything about the vault, and I don't plan to. Luckily, he doesn't remember.
Amajon and Hatsu, you also see Dash just move his hand across the counter and leave some coin on the counter. The rest of you do not. What do you guys want to do from here?
Pretty much Dash is as slick as sandpaper.
Wow.
He's level 4, come on, man. There's time. At some point, he will succeed continuously, forever, because that's what rogues do.
Yeah, I mean, I already did earlier and they didn't notice.
Fair.
That's the thing. You only catch what you don't notice. You don't notice what you don't notice.
You only catch what you don't notice. Wait.
I only catch what you notice. Sorry, I misspoke. Good thing I'm not the talker of the group right now.
Yeah, that charisma is low today.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Eos is
sleepy
pulled up
time.
a chair by the fire and she's sipping her coffee slowly, enjoying the fact that she's able to sit in public for give or take an hour.
I just realized I missed a golden opportunity to injure Dash's leg with an animal. No worries.
Hey, not 20 dex save wasn't happening.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Kian, on the other hand.
Where you was trampled by a herd of animals. Yeah,
It was a tackling drill, so basically, yeah.
you sit down, you put your feet up, you sip your coffee. Sleeping might be a bit more difficult tonight, but you're chilling.
Who needs it?
Me.
If I get back to the room and I'm on my own for a second, I'm going to take out the coin with a picture of chicken on it.
Read it.
Most certainly not. And she just holds it for a second and she says, Weslin, if that was from you, thank you. It'll come in handy.
That's nice. Chicken walks past and just brushes against you as they walk out the door.
And go and sit by my window as usual.
Nursery?
Rather than going to bed, I'm going to try and sneak out and do what I intended to do earlier before Atsu ruined my plans.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Investigation. Pop-ups. That is a 13. I'm going to use my inspiration and roll that
it's
one
not
again.
a fail. It's not a fail. It's not a fail. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Fair.
You notice a group of people standing around a sort of larger building. There's a lot of guards and a lot of commotion here.
Can I hear what the commotion is regarding?
You can do perception or investigation as you wander past. We'll say saunter.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be investigation.
Oh,
Okay, I'm taking inspiration on that one.
on the nat one? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, they're fucking balancing out my two nat 20s now.
They seem to be upset about something, some group that passed through here.
They're upset about a group that passed through.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah, otherwise I'm just kind of loitering, for want of a better word. Just trying not to be noticed and just persisting with that for a few hours.
If you're,
Listening
it
out
doesn't have
for
to be a
things.
few hours, but if you're hanging out for a few minutes, you can make another check, the second of two, if you're just staying there anyway.
Absolutely.
Considerably better.
Oh, much better. Dirty 20.
During the commotion, the small bank that's here got completely fleeced. There were no guards to respond. People took advantage of it and took all of the town's money from the bank itself.
Okay. Is there any mention of anything that was left behind?
There's no mention that you pick up on anyway.
Okay. Is there mention of how much was in there?
It wouldn't be a substantial amount, but it's a few hundred gold, enough to keep the town funded. It's the money that they all put into the bank.
Okay. And can I tell if this is... has anyone noticed the donation that was left earlier yet? Is there any indication of that having been picked up?
That would probably be the entire fund of what the town has now, because that wouldn't have been included in what was taken. It was taken during the kerfuffle, and then you added gold post-kerfuffle. So you have definitely donated to the rebuilding fund and everything, and in some cases, the town bank and treasury as well.
Okay. Cool. I'm not gonna interact in any way. Just listening.
The rest of you?
Yost at about the 45-minute mark. She goes for a quick walk out the front door, back around, and makes her way back to the room before her time is up.
Okay.
A little bit of fresh air.
As you would go towards your room, you would see Hatsu going slowly past you. He nods, and he would make his way up to Slate. And he would say, may I ask for your assistance?
Oh, I thought this was Ooze Watch again. Sure.
No. I don't know. I kinda wanna find the man with the tippy head.
Alright, well, where was he last seen?
As there said, he crossed the tavern. I think he went inwards. I'm kinda curious if somebody would lose something of that value, as Dash mentioned, and he wouldn't look for it. Maybe he dropped it on purpose.
To
And I
what?
think
Just see what would happen to the tavern?
Maybe. But sometimes you would drop hints to see who's capable of understand these hints, to make sure that people are more of your kind, if you know what I mean.
Slate takes out his book, thumbs through the pages, and he goes, look, you cut the bracers off, it's fine. This fine. I just strike off like what I feel I owe him. Yep, let's do this. And I start marching down the stairs. So I was like, I don't need the reasons. You're in the book. Let's fix this. Let's go.
And he would actively look for hints. First of all, he would kind of try to understand from his the way he would pick up tracks, and from there he would move town inwards to try to grasp, because he would consider a person like that wouldn't necessarily search for a lot of attention. And maybe he would also ask in different taverns, maybe if there are more than one, if they have seen a person like that, but a little more reserved.
While I'm walking with Hatsu, I'm going to turn to you, Hatsu, and be like, okay, so all I know is some pointy hat dropped a coin. Tell me everything. Start at the beginning. What did they look like? How tall were they? How wide were they? What were they carrying? Which way were they going? Tell me everything.
I wish I would knew, but Dash obviously didn't want to tell us everything. So I guess we have to figure it out somehow. But I think if we are not the only ones that are here to do what we do, we know that there were people sent from school, and I'm quite suspicious if it's only Orla that was sent.
So you're suggesting that we start with non-locals. It's one way of narrowing it down. All right, let's
Might
start
be
there.
a thing.
Gonna, before we take off from where we are outside the tavern where it started, I'm just gonna put my head back in and ask the local, where are the other places that non-locals stay? That could stay if they were to stay somewhere else in town or the vicinity of the town. Where else would they go?
They let you know that there's a few inns that are involved in the town, but they're usually in the taverns. So there's, I believe, there's two. This one and one more. Let me have a quick look. Victor. I apologize. This is the only inn.
So there's nobody else in the town that's like a widower or somebody who would put somebody up for the night or would take coin, or there's no other spots that we know of?
Not really, no. Mostly people who are coming here are researchers anyway, and they have places to go. For more public stuff, it's not usually groups of people that come through here like that. It's usually people who have purpose here.
So I'll just thank him and head back out into the street, go back to Hatsu and say, just following on from what you were saying, relay the information of what we've got to point out that we're heading in that direction. The rough direction, if I look at my map, geographically speaking, we know the rough direction they headed off in and no more. Does that coincide with the research station? Do you know, is it like a north for north or south for south, or, you know?
The research station is more or less central of town. That's what I was saying to Keane earlier, was that there is kind of a town square-ish. It's not a town square, but the research station is more central point of town. That would be the opposite direction of where they were going. They were walking out of town, not into town.
Okay.
As they will leave the tavern, Hatsu would make like a little salute sign towards Madriana's window. Just to let her know that they are out and about something.
Sure.
All you see is just the back of the hand come up the windowsill. Like a kind of sign off.
Recognize you.
Gotcha. Yeah.
If we're outside the tavern and walking down the road, we obviously are chatting, and Hatsu has this plan to talk to others as we pass them and, you know, see if there's anyone that has seen anyone look like that's not local or strange. Do we happen upon any of the guards or the commotion that everyone is discussing near Dash? Like, where is that relative to us?
We down the street, kind of again walking towards the middle of town. So I would say you can probably pick up on it if you want to. Sure.
I'm
All right.
just gonna listen in to get the gist of what's happened. So is it fair enough to say that I would be able to deduce from the conversations that a robbery has happened and it was the bank, if nothing else?
I'll do you one better so that we don't have to do the same rolls again. I'll say you encounter Dash, you spot him in the crowd.
Wait. Can I see if I can sneak up on him?
Okay. 24. Yeah, absolutely. Also, just while you guys are walking there, Slate and Hatsu, Albi lands on your shoulder. Just something present with you as well. Go ahead, Dash.
So I'll just kind of sneak up head between the two of them, kind of doing what Hatsu's done to me before. Someone robbed the bank.
How did you know, Dash?
I was listening.
What are you doing here?
Listening.
Were you
Did
that
you
someone?
try to take from the rich?
No, these people are not rich.
You people kind of turn around.
Looks like not anymore, right? What a coincidence.
Someone took advantage of the chaos earlier.
Was it a large haul?
The entire bank.
How much is an entire bank? Like,
You look over and the whole
enough?
building's just gone. They just took the building and left.
What I'm trying to ascertain from my question is this like a one-man job? Is it a two-man job? Is it a horse and cart job? Like, in terms of quantities, if I don't know the exact amount, how much do we know?
A couple hundred gold from what it sounds like. I just, case in point, I'm trying to whisper it as well so as not to draw attention to us.
So in terms of weight, for the average man carrying a couple of hundred, would I be able to deduce whether that's a one-man job, a two-man job, a one man
It
with a
would
horse,
be
a one man with a cart? You know what I mean?
One strong man with a backpack or two normal people with a backpack each. It wouldn't be that exceptional. Between you, you've held that much in coin before.
Yeah.
Not necessarily gold, but you've held that much in coin. You would know that it's like heavy, but it's not out of this world heavy. In D&D terms anyway. In real life, yeah, probably.
So while they're there, Hatsu would further trying to get a glimpse on, was it like a clean job? Did they sneak in? Was it brute force? He's trying to pick up what might have been techniques they used to enter that facility.
Make an investigation check for me.
I'll help on that if I can. I don't have...
Sorry.
I'll give you advantage, Hatsu.
All right. It is a 10.
10. It would be hard to say, but it doesn't look like a stealth job. It looks more like brute force because everything around here looks brute forced from the damage from the animals and stuff. But like, it looks like someone leaned into the brute force of what's going on here. It doesn't look careful. The doors are broken in. There's wood splinters everywhere. Like this was a very quick job on a whim.
So it could also be possibly that the animals that ran through and then people just
Looted.
fucking loot goblin the shit out of it.
Yeah, I'll give you the bonus of, because you asked that question, there are definitely hoof prints and stuff around this area too that would signify that it could have just been random chaos that gave the opportunity.
So you think opportunistic rather than professional?
Slate, you would know that not only is there gold in banks, there are lockboxes. People keep things safe here. There are vaults. Whether or not you choose to disclose that.
Well, the two
Yes,
boys
it was I stole a vault.
That's just
While
as
the two
one.
boys are talking, I'm going to take a different tact. I'm just going to walk straight over to the group of law enforcement that were making a cordon and we're having the chat. And I'm going to go straight over, make myself known, and say to them, obviously, you know who we are, and remind them that we helped them with Orla. We recovered a body. We were helping look for this creature that was people who've been going missing for months. We went out looking. We've helped the town. We want to help. We're here. And obviously, looking at them and looking at us, we're reasonably well equipped. So I'm going to say to them, what can we do to help? Share with us what you know. And if we can help, we're here. So why not? So what I'm going for is to just, straight up, because they're local, they'll be able to tell more about what damage was done or how it was done, because it's their area, it's their bank, it's their everything. And rather than trying to cheat them out of it, I'm just straight up being friendly.
Had your friend not paid me extra, I wouldn't be paid enough for this shit. Yeah, he goes on to explain. What's the best way of doing this? He goes on to explain that, like, it was just a job that somebody did on a whim. It wasn't like something that had a lot of like planning. It was something that opportunity presented itself, and these people took advantage of that opportunity. They got in and out without relatively even being seen in the commotion. They took the gold as if they knew where it was. They emptied the lockboxes as if they knew where they were, and they left.
So my next question is, look, gold can be spent anywhere, but is there anything in the bank that was taken that might be harder to fence, sell, any other items that you were listed that you know are missing? Because that might be the way to follow this trail.
Right. Not we would have to ask the people, but we don't know what was in the lockboxes. We would have to perform an investigation.
Is there bank officials here? Is there anybody who works for the bank who has access to their records? Because they have records. I mean, I'm sure they have insurance. They have, like, this is how these things work.
People are on the way, but the bank was closed, but they're on the way.
Perfect. And I'm going to thank them for their time. And then, is there anything else that we can do to help you now?
What are you, Inquisitor, Investigator?
Just somebody in the right place at the right time, I hope.
He's a musician.
Did you rob the bank? Right place, right time is awfully suspicious.
I think you'll find I was in the tavern when all these creatures came through the window. And
we did just talk to you, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But you are right to not trust anyone and check everything, so I'm glad to see you're doing your job, and I'm just here to help you with that.
Squints towards Dash. And where were you?
I was outside the town, I think. I spoke to you in the tavern.
Right, yeah. And what about you? And looks towards Hatsu.
He was awesome.
I mean,
did you get trampled?
If you want to reinsure, you can ask around in broader deer that we are up for these kind of things. We try to help and assist.
Right. Well,
first of all, can I sneak up behind Dash?
Sure.
Because I've been listening through LB.
Yeah, make a stealth check just to be on the level. Yep, you're fine. With an 18, you are definitely fine.
I walk up behind Dash and take his blades, and then say, I think you dropped these, as I stand next to him, and he's not even noticed me, and hand them back. And then I would like to, so essentially what I want to do, in this situation where something's busted through these front doors, now there's loads of tracks, animals, I can see that, it's deer, rabbit, badgers, whatever, can see all of that, especially the badgers. But in this situation where you'd have footprints, you'd have normal footprints going in, and like even around, you'd see that. But then there'd also be heavier, dragged footprints coming out, because whether they are able to carry it or not, they're still heavier on a person to be able to do that. I want to find those tracks without alerting the guards as much as possible. Like, even if I do find them, I'm not going to tell them I found them. I'm just going to kind of nonchalantly, there's nothing I can see here kind of thing. And then I want to basically grab the rest of these, and we're going to go and look where these tracks are heading.
That's what I was going for with the initial, how heavy is it, who could carry it, because I was along the same lines of tracks that would be different dragged carried. So I'd like to assist in scouring the area from using the same train of thought. So
no problem. You can both do that. And I will also say, just for the sake of bringing the party together, Eos, on your way back, you would see the group just standing in a crowd by the bank. And you can approach them then when their rolls are done here, okay? So, I made you on a slate. It'll be investigation for this. Yeah.
So for me, that is a 23.
Holy shit. And a nat 20.
Yes!
For also a
Let's
23.
fucking go.
Inspector Morse and Sherlock have shown up. Yeah, you
23, love that.
Number 23.
you guys are looking around, and then I'll just, yeah, I mean, I'll flat give it to you. You both at the same time spot the heavier track of footprints and look towards each other, knowingly that you both were doing the exact same thing. Like, you see the signs in each other. You're both aware that there's a clear set of tracks that lead back up towards the tavern and past it. Yeah.
Okay, so basically grab Dash's arm, like in a, like through my arm kind of thing, like but pull him in, like next to me. And if I see Eos, I'll be like, glad you got here. Do the same for Eos, the other side.
I'm gonna turn to Hatsu and say, Hatsu, I think there's somebody over here who wants a coin. Come here when I show you, and just start bringing them in a similar direction.
And yeah, we're gonna wander off, and we are gonna follow these tracks.
So, I hate to interrupt the spirit at the moment, but Eos was going back to her room because her timer was up for disguise self.
Yeah, you have a few minutes if you want, but it's okay if you want to go back. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's too much of a risk.
you can always cast it again. Just saying, if you want to be a part of this, you could.
No, I
but
appreciate it.
you're all right.
Mind whip, that never happened.
Thanks, Hatsu.
Does Eos voice that to us, that's the reason?
Oh no, like the whole thing, like she was actually going back to her room and Hatsu passed her when this all
Kicked off.
started.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Okay. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. That's okay.
So yeah, anyway, then we're gonna drag. I'm gonna drag Dash, and Slate's gonna drag Hatsu, and we're gonna follow these tracks and see where they go.
I'm just gonna gesture to Albie, like, send him up, because if he knows what we're looking for.
And I just give the whistle, and Albie's up in the sky looking at the track.
So you follow the tracks past the tavern, and they lead you just on the nat 20, so I'm just going to give that to you anyway. You don't need to re-roll for that. And they lead you towards the stables near the top of town.
Okay. So first thing is tell the group, like, and then I'm going to do a once round to make sure there's no tracks leading out of the building then again.
Yeah. So you're at the Mountain's Hoof, which is the stables here. And you guys are sort of circling around and taking a look.
Yeah. No tracks leading out? Other than these ones? Rover?
Oh, so you're asking me? Sorry, I thought you were asking the group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just checking they haven't gone out the back of the building, basically.
You'd have to investigate for me, but you have advantage on it for a myriad of reasons. So I have everything.
Well,
I was lucky I had that advantage. That's only a 15 that time.
Of course.
Amy, if this is a stable, we might also look for horse hoofs, maybe.
Look for what?
Oops.
Maybe they went out with the horses.
Yes, I'll
That's
check.
what Dash would do, I guess.
I'll check.
No, if it was me, I would send a horse away while going another direction myself.
That's actually clever.
Not my first rodeo. Pun intended.
So yeah, I'm going to check that there's no secondary footprints, and if there's hoof prints, like, try and work that out as well.
Yeah, there's no more footprints that are heavy, but there are two sets of horses that have quite clearly recently left because there's a light snow going on and the tracks are fresh.
And there's no movement inside? Like, I'm listening out for it.
There would be movement inside, yeah.
Okay, no human talking movement.
Oh, no. Like, there's a person inside.
Humanoid.
Like, yeah, there's a person in there, in the stables.
Okay, so I signal to Dash to come in one side and I'll go in the other side.
Should I knock? Do you want to go around the back and I'll just knock?
Yeah, when he knocks up, I'm keeping the back just to make sure.
I'll knock on the door.
Well, you give it a bit of a... And as you do, there's like there's a sound from within. Make a active perception check here for me, Dash.
Yeah. That is 18.
With an 18, you hear inside like shit, fuck, shit.
I'm going to modify the knock to be a bit louder and in tacky talk say someone's hiding something.
Yeah, you don't get a response from that, but you just hear just a
that's for
second, just a second. Oh yeah, okay, a Madrian, you
That's
hear
for
that for
Madrian's
sure, yeah.
benefit.
And anyone else who speaks
Yeah.
tacky talk in the script, I can't remember who it is, but
Yeah. And I'll, as they're saying,
Ryan,
just
you're
a second, I'll knock again.
Sorry, yeah, I realised I was on mute. I sent Albie along the horse tracks.
okay, cool, no worries.
As soon as I hear that, I'm assuming there's a back door to this place because there's usually like an in and out kind of thing.
Sure, yeah, sure.
I'm gonna, push the doors open.
Are you doing it with stealth or with force?
Because he's not that side, I'm doing this with force as like to shock them, essentially. I want them to be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear You push the door open and there's a guy standing there and he jumps back, and as he does it's like ding 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 ding, ding. Like 4 or 5 gold coins land on the ground and he's just trying to scoop them up.
I'll just try kicking the other door then as that's happening.
He looks over at you and then tries to just scuffle back up the 5 gold coins that he had.
Don't even bother.
Stay outside to one side where I can hear and peek, but I'm not seen. So for the moment, it's just to the side of the door, but listening intently.
Yeah, a good changeling is seen and not heard. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm going to just throw one of my daggers kind of right where he's about to reach.
He puts his hand back.
So, did you rob the bank?
Rob the what?
Or did you just get paid very well for some horses recently?
That one.
Right.
Why are you acting so sketchy about getting paid for what I assume is an honest day's work?
Like, well, they paid me to not ask questions.
What did they look like?
One of them was wearing a hood and a dark covering. The other one had long black hair and leather.
Can I tell if he's telling the truth or is he
Yes, that's
lying?
Is he so disgusted he turned away?
It's a 9.
A 9? Sure.
Is there any other horses in there?
There's a stable, so it's like 4 or 5 horses, yeah.
I'm so
Right.
sorry. I wanted to assist, but my nose is just
That's all right.
constantly running.
It was really funny because like we all message each other like, oh, how are we doing? Like Roy does this hype check every week. We're all like, we're really sick. Like everybody's sick. Yeah.
So,
Assisting with...
The inside check.
Excuse me, I wanted to help, so can I roll as well?
You can roll inside as well. That's fine. Yeah.
That's an 18.
18. Yeah, he's telling the truth and he's also very scared.
I'm gonna walk straight up to him and pick him up and just say,
He's probably about 16 years old. He's a younger dude. Looks like a stable hand, dressed like a stable hand. Nothing about this outfit or demeanor suggests that he actually knows what you're talking about. He's really just scared. He's a scared kid. Look.
So I pick him up, but like stood. You take this gold, you take it back to the guards in town, and you tell them what's just happened with who you sold this to.
They'll just keep the coins.
Of course they're going to keep the coins because it's the town's coins, not yours.
Can I keep one?
Here. Keep this one. I'll give him one of mine.
Okay, just mark one off. Thank you.
Do it, and now.
And-
tell him that we're going in pursuit.
He starts to run towards the other door and opens it, and Slate's standing out there and just sees this guy trying to run. What you want to do with that is up to you.
Close right now.
Wait. But before you leave, do you have more horses that we can borrow to
Yes.
pursue?
Yeah. Oh, we have 3.
Cool. We're not paying for them.
But we're bringing them back.
It's a rental service. You just... Okay.
We are
Just
bringing them
We don't want
back.
to push that.
He doesn't want to push it at all. He just starts to run past and he like moves past Slate. Like you're just sort of standing there and he's like trying to squeeze past.
As a logistical question, how quick are horses?
Oh, well, don't
Like,
do
what's
this
their
to me,
movement
man.
speed?
Well, I was about to ask the same, honestly.
Just before we go any further as well, I'm going to pick my dagger back up. Because I know what you're like.
I am like that. I know. I'm unapologetically like that. Give me 1 second.
I'm going to grab a hold of the boy just for a second because I want to ask him something just before he leaves while they're taking the horses out of the stables.
No worries. 60 foot of movement, 120 at a dash.
Shit, they're quicker than me.
My horses are quicker than everyone else's horses. That's wild.
Those are riding horses, so. God damn it, I just got that. That took a minute to resonate in my brain. God damn.
Figured, yeah. Should we message EOS? Can we?
How far away from the town is this place?
It just flashes back. Like, it's just 2 minutes up the road. It just flashes back to EO's sitting room. Like, where the fuck is everybody?
Just getting
No, but, like-
balls with the coffee. She's having a great time.
Are we more than 120 foot away from the room?
No, it's a small town.
Okay, so then Amagiana just points her finger towards where the tavern is, and Eos will hear it in her head. Need you pursuing bank thieves? Please join us at the stable.
EOS just spits coffee everywhere.
Is it dark outside, Daddy DM?
Yeah, it's late. Like, the bank was closed, so.
Alright, she gets her cloak, puts on the hood.
Alright. About a minute
Getting
later, like, EOS appears, yeah. I would say 2. Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yeah, she's not very fast.
So,
Small legs.
Do give
Gonna
me a stealth
prep
check, though,
the-
EOS, because you're not disguised at the moment, so.
Correct the mundus.
Go ahead, Adriana, sorry.
I was gonna say, gonna prep the horses, or like ask Dash and that to prep the horses, and essentially I'm gonna go out, make sure nobody's watching or no one's be able to look, and I'm gonna get the wings out and I'm gonna start making my way, following the track, and then hope that they catch up with me.
So
Adriana,
just
you
before
spot EOS. You're the only one who actually sees EOS walking up the street. Where the 19 stuff.
I would say Hatsu would do the same. He would dash like a maniac to try to follow Amadriana to make them take the 3 horses.
Okay.
Like Eos, Slate, and Dash.
I mean, you know that Eos is a fucking demon on a horse, so this is gonna be great.
So I got a message about some horses.
Yep, hop on. We're going. Someone robbed the bank. We're trying to do good things.
Who else is here?
Adriana's gone, Hatsu's gone.
So it's just
Slate is intimidating a stable boy.
So just as they were getting the horses ready, I grabbed the boy as Madriana was doing the message, and the idea behind that was before Madriana left, the reason I got the boy while that was happening was with the intention of shouting to Madriana to find out from Albie which direction, just generally speaking, you know, left,
Albie's
right, north, whatever it was.
Gone for sure anyway, so yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so the idea then was for Madriana to say, you know, west or whatever, and then leave.
Right.
And then my thing was to use the map, considering on the way here, we got the werewolves to map us a fast track. Now I want to do the opposite from the stable boy and say, is this the quickest direction? So whatever direction they're going, I want to see if we can gain ground if they're not local by using a local. Because he might go, yeah, the path you have there, that's the way they're going. Albie said they went that way. So I want to see if we can close the gap using local knowledge, seeing as we've been back and forth, because we traveled through this way the first time and then back using 2 separate routes. So
Right.
my intention is to see if Albie says they're crossing one of those routes, and if we can close the gap even marginally, because they have a lead on us, but with local knowledge and having been here several times, I think we could, to some degree, close the gap. So I'm literally just showing them the map and saying, waiting for Madriana just to shout whatever it was, and then say, is this the quickest way? And then jump on the horse and follow with everybody else.
Yeah, you can follow Albie. Albie can fly low. And it would be easy enough to track. But what I do need from a Madriana then, please, is using Albie's stat block. I need a survival check. See if you can track the footprints of the horses.
I'll also be tracking it myself once I get going, but this is because he went ahead. That's a 12.
Okay. For the most part, they can see tracks. They do keep losing them and finding them again. Whoever's on these horses is moving like lightning. They know how to ride these horses. They know how to get away. They are maximizing their efforts to do that.
Also, the way they are heading, do I get the feeling that they're heading back towards the lake?
No, they're trying to bypass the lake.
So they're not heading back towards the...
No, they'd be moving out into the lake, alongside the lake, towards the left side to get around it.
Right, okay, I was just checking they weren't going back to the guild, that's all.
The lake itself is down by Broader Deer. They're going kind of... So, like, if Broader Deer was a straight path from you, and you've got Gottenhammer on your right, because you're heading back to Broader Deer, on the left side, like, they're heading down that way, which would be almost like getting around the lake in some way, or going to the edge of it, not going directly at it. So they're not heading straight to Broader Deer.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, awesome. Yes,
I just wanted to clarify that, because, yeah, from the layout and topography and stuff.
Perfect. I relay that back to Slate, give him a basic on the map of, like, here, that's the line, and then I'm gone.
So, like I said, my thing is just to generically the boy to quickly go there, and then he goes off towards the guards. I just crumple it up, jump in onto the horse, and then start chasing after the other guys, 60 feet behind them or whatever, saying left, or whatever, direction from the rear. Once we get, doesn't matter, a couple of 100 feet from the town, because it's dark at this stage, it's nighttime, whatever. I want to do a second thing. So knowing that we're heading in that direction, I want to try a Hail Mary, and I want to do it twice in two different ways. The first thing I want to do is use my actor feat to do the exact howl of the werewolves that I have heard, because I can copy it exactly.
Okay.
I know their hearing is immense. I also know they're in the area, and we were to meet them tomorrow. So it is possible that they were left somewhere around the lake area. They could be in the vicinity waiting for us to come back already.
Again, the lake is down by
a
a different town. There's no lake exactly here. Ryan was asking if they were heading back to the town with the lake.
That I don't know the length, the extent of their hearing. So that's why I'm saying it's a Hail Mary, because I don't know how high up they are. At nighttime sound travels further.
Yep.
So my point is, I'm just throwing it out there to see if I can attract them. The second thing I want to do is to try to magnify it. So what I'm going to try and do, which I don't think is going to work, but it will be a bad version of it. I have a giant horn. So what I want to try and do is the equivalent of it into the horn. So it'll come out like a garbled one, but the point is I'm trying to get a further distance to see if it'll be louder or reverberations or whatever. So I'm just trying to do that noise as loud as possible to make it travel as far as possible in the night, in the quiet of night, on the off chance that they may be, wherever miles away they are, they might be able to hear it, because they were going to elevation, and there's a good chance with their perception that I'm thinking they might hear something and head in this direction, because they are super quick.
Okay. The first roll is going to be a standard performance check, and then the second one is going to be a performance check again with advantage.
Perfect.
After this, I'm going to ES. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, in case I didn't say it, I'm obviously dashing as well.
Yeah, I imagine, yeah.
Alright, the first one is a 25.
Crazy.
And then my second one at advantage is a 22.
As far back as where Eos is standing, you can hear the howl. the guttural howl, and then a few moments later you hear the howl again, but gargled and almost reverberating off the stone and different things in the area of the hills.
Dash, what did you do now?
You're on mute.
Because my thinking behind the action is knowing how they hunt and how they travel. I'm hoping the sound will attract them to our vicinity, and then fleeing horses, and then they'll come alongside, or they'll see or hear and catch on to the pursuit. That's the hope.
So
that's what I'm trying to do.
If I understand correctly, Slate, you're on a horse, so Major Anna, you're flying, or?
I'm flying, but me and Hatsu left fucking
ages ago,
before them, yeah.
And Hatsu, you're dash sprinting, right? Right. So there's two horses left. Yeah.
I also intend to repeat it at intervals, so for triangulation. So I'm following those in front and following Albie, and then just making the sound every minute or something like that, just to help them triangulate the sound if they can hear it. I don't know if they can, but that's the point of it. So I will continue in the hope.
Eos, you are mounting a horse that's just been prepared. Dash, you're mounting a horse that's just been prepared.
Yes, we need to work on your prejudices.
A Major Anna messaged me to get here, which I did. You're here. There's some weird dying octopus noise. I don't know what that is. What is this? Nice horses. What? These are lovely.
They're very nice. Okay, here's a quick version. Someone robbed the bank during the chaos that I accidentally unleashed. No, not me. All right. How could I do it? I literally had... Anyway, someone robbed the bank. We're trying to find them. We have the tracks. Let's go.
Oh, you're playing hero. Okay.
Eos, for you especially, because of your, we'll call it horse proficiency, for lack of a better word, I'm going to get you to do an animal handling check to see if you can get any extra juice out of this.
Yes.
All right. Let's go.
You don't know this horse very well with a 6.
Yeah. Don't know.
Is this inspo time?
Yeah, let's burn it. All right.
Come on, you horse.
Will never be praised.
Oh my god!
Right. That's regret.
Yeah, so for a 2, we'll give you the 6 because it's the highest of both rolls. It's difficult because this horse just doesn't want to cooperate. You accidentally got on the difficult horse at the stable. So you're trying to figure things out, and Dash is off and he's moving, and you're like, you're trying to keep up with Dash, but the horse is like swaying back and forth, it's not getting into the gallop. It's trying to avoid kind of obeying you and obeying what you're doing, but you're persistent. So you will get another check in a little while as you keep doing this. Okay. Dash, you're ahead of Eos and you're trying to get things moving, and you've got that beneath you. It's trying to move. And like there's a trail of snow behind you, just smoking out from behind the horse as you guys as you guys move. Slate, you're going a little bit slower because you're blowing on the horn. You're trying to do things. You're not quite controlling the horse with the full concentration of someone who would be going at full speed. As such, you start to hear from behind you that, and you can look back and you can see that Dash is coming up and Eos is following up behind. And with that, you start moving further as well, preparing obviously to use your triangulation method that you talked about, but for the moment, you guys are on the way. Hatsu, you're a good bit further out. You left about 2 or 3 minutes before they even got moving, so you're much further out. You're Naruto running, I assume? What are you doing? Yeah?
Exactly that. Naruto running.
The good
like
thing about...
a fucking storm.
The good thing about Hatsu and doing this run is that you can move your way up the hill and try and look down and follow the tracks and give yourself that kind of vantage point while you're moving. You're not like limited to the pathways that they are, giving you much speedier routes theoretically with your dash ability.
I would also say he would try to implement as much as of the fast movements that he learned from Wolver.
Hell yeah. Yeah, every time you get a chance to, you jump off a tree a little bit to give yourself more projectile movement. You can swing from branches and try and get a little bit more vantage and move through the limited tree space that's here. Majorana, you're up higher. You're moving flat out at full force. I'm actually finding it surprisingly difficult to try and keep up with Hatsu. as Hatsu is really just flat out. Like, I don't think you knew even that he could move at such a speed. This is such a tremendous thing to watch, but at the same time, you have to focus and you're trying to look dead ahead. You having the best vantage point, I'm going to get either perception or investigation from you. You can choose which, and I will tell you what your prize is, depending on your roll.
He's doing 80 FPS.
15.
15. And it was investigation, yeah. So deep in the distance, you see the tree line that's there. You can make out that these hoof prints, you can't see them all the way down there, but you can see that this is the direction they're going. They are beelining for that forest, and once they get there, it'll be much more difficult to try and track or capture anybody or interact with them. It's much easier to lose you in the deep, dense forest. Yeah.
And can I now see them then? They haven't got to the forest yet.
You can't see anyone right now from where you are. You just know that that's the direction you're going. But they have a good hour on you at least. Like, they weren't like 2 minutes ago there. They were there. Like, don't forget, you guys did all the stuff you did after the chaos. They left during the chaos. So they have at least an hour on you, if not more.
Okay. I'm gonna swoop down. Although I'm a little bit behind Hatsu, I'm sure he'd be able to hear me enough, and I'm basically going to say, they're heading for the tree line. If they get there, we are going to have a much more difficult job.
They might be already there. We should hurry. Maybe they'll rest soon. Look out for fires.
And I'll then updraft and go up a bit higher again to try and look out for light sources as well.
Slate, Eos, and Dash, you start to see what looks like a bird, but then all of a sudden you realize, oh, that's literally a Madriana that's there.
My journal away.
You just open it like, ooh, oh. You guys are gunning it on the horses. For my own personal interest, Eos, make your animal handling check again, please. You may have advantage.
Dankeschön.
That's more like it.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Yeah.
Slate and
He
Dash.
is like that one dude at the right of the Rohirrim or that.
Yeah, the one who's really in it. The Runners Row. You guys, like Slate and Dash, you guys are almost side by side, like the horses are just going, and you hear the whinny from behind you, and suddenly the horse just from behind you just blasts ahead. Eos, her catches just on the wind of what Amadriana was saying, that we have to go now, and she channels everything she has learned from Ducky and her whole life experience, and she snaps the reins, and the horse just rockets, and as it does, it moves with such precision that you guys almost feel like you're standing still. The horse just goes. It's like it goes straight through you with such speed, I should say, and precision. And as it does,
I'm just picturing that old Ballygown ad where she's going to, the cape and everything.
Yeah. The cape is going. This looks like something that you would catch in Lord of the Rings or something for sure. Like, it's cinematic as fuck. As you're going downhill and everything, you start to catch. You see what just looks like a shadow moving between the trees, and you assume, okay, that's Hatsu. You see a Madriana above you, but this horse is moving at 120 per 6 seconds, so it is just fucking gunning it. Madriana, you look down and you just see Eos just gun it from beneath you and just goes ahead. You get the impression that she caught what was being said, and just that the horse is going at such a tremendous speed. It's like blurry legs from the movement.
Okay. So I'm assuming at this point I've probably almost caught up to, or at least close enough to Albie to be able to get back in contact with him.
Sure.
And I'm basically going to tell him to get low, and as soon as Eos comes up onto him, like as in same place, to get with Eos and keep in contact. Because I know that Eos is outrunning me.
She's outpacing all of you right now.
Yeah.
Albie moves down Eos, and as you see it, you just instinctively, you're completely focused. You've got your blinders on. Your horse has its blinders on. It's perfect. But you do catch a glimpse of Albie, and you just move up and just gesture to move Albie down to your shoulder. You lean forward, and you keep going in this dash pace. With the you have ruined Dash for me, man.
I know I have. I love it so much.
With the speedy pace. And yeah, you're absolutely gunning it. This, like, this might be the most in your element you have felt in a long time. Like, since you've left Ducky, at least. This is the kind of stuff you're used to with Ducky, riding Ducky on the island, but this feels good. You're betraying Ducky. I hope you're happy.
Hey. How dare
Eos turns left into a target.
Let's
destroy the evidence. Eos, because you're up at the forefront here, I'm going to get you to make an investigation check, but I will give you advantage as others are helping you here. You have Albi, you have Hatsu, you have Madriana, Dash and Slate coming up at the rear. Slate, again, making these wolf sounds echoing from behind you. I'll get performance from you, Slate, on both as well. Same again, single and then advantage.
6.
6 with advantage.
Yes.
You are having difficulty seeing anything because you lift your head up, your hood is blowing in your face. As cool as it looks, it's like not really practical, and your eyes are all like watery because of the speed. You make a howl, Slate, the first one being a 9. The howl doesn't resonate as well, but you guys are moving full force now, so it's a lot more difficult to get any outward facing sounds. But the 21...
try and make loud sounds over and over and you feel yourself going hoarse.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta doing it as like no, and then into the horn.
Every concert I've ever been to. Yeah, you start piping through the horn, and that works better because it allows the air to be channeled correctly, and you manage to let out this resonating howl through the horn with a 21. Things are moving. You guys tell me, what are you doing?
Hatsu would gesture towards Amy to come closer while he's running.
Okay.
And if she does so, he would shout to her, Adriana, look if there's a way around the forest that is not too long. The guys might be faster with the horses around and we can cut through the forest faster.
She'll come down, and you'll see as she hears that, she just takes that updraft again and just carries on. And I'll take myself up to like a good like 150 foot up and look to see if the line pattern that I know they're taking, if there is like a way around the forest that cuts off the other side kind of thing.
I'll give it to you based on the roll from before. They are absolutely beelining it for that forest line. Like the movies of old, they're looking for the Mexican border. That is their Mexican border. They're trying to hit that and get through. Yeah.
Oh,
I want
yeah,
to
but
explain the logic, but regardless, if you ride a horse through the forest, you have to slow her down when there's not like a clear pathway.
Right.
The idea was that when the guys could have the horses like around the forest at full pace, they might be faster than the bandits through the forest with the horses.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are
And
you
Hatsu
trying to
and
calculate
Amy,
the trajectory to see if you can outrun them?
yeah, and Hatsu and Amy would like follow their path just in case they try to hide somewhere in the forest.
Yeah. So basically, instead of going through the moon, we want to slingshot them around the moon to the other side.
You are not like it would take you hours to get around it. It's not something where you're not just able to just like side skirt it a little bit and cut it off. Like it could be quicker in a sense, but it would put you like you'd be hours out. It wouldn't be something that's just like a few minutes to the left and around. Like you're dealing with a density here.
Okay. I'll come back and essentially relay that back to Hatsu. I think the only way is through, unfortunately. But if they've had trouble, they're also carrying a lot of weight that we're not.
Agreed, let's hurry. And he tries to get a shovel more on his movement speed. Like when it goes downhill a little bit, he would really lean into it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. No fear of just tumbling over the way I did as a kid running down a hill. Just like a little bit too scared. I'm going to lean that too far forward and just go.
And suddenly you're a penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Dash, I hope you don't mind me borrowing you for this, but there's a moment of like clarity with you where you're just like, this is fucking cool. You look over and you see Hatsu zipping through the trees. You look at Madriana, she spirals around and is trying to like get a vantage point, and you do use her abilities to the maximum. You see Eos just going full force, using the best of her abilities. You see Slate howling into a horn for whatever reason to you don't know, but it's pretty badass. Like this whole thing is really a crazy situation to be a part of, and I think there's some admiration in Dash for that. I would dare say. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, 100%. And there's a part of me looking at a Major and I was like, She didn't need to do that twirl. That was just flavor. I respect it.
It's the fact that as she's twirling and she just happens to see Dash looking, she just winks and then keeps twirling.
One little blue eye just dissipates for a second.
We basically recreated that scene from Avengers Ultron.
Oh yeah, right.
In the forest.
Yeah, absolutely.
The freeze frame of the side.
Yeah, all
That's
6 of you were in
perfect,
perfect line for a second, yeah. Or 5 of you, sorry. Absolutely, yeah.
Just as we're kind of going as well, I'm also just following because this, Dash knows when it's not his area of expertise. Mostly just following, but also like I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. What would I do in this situation? And look for outs. Look for what would if I had just pulled off a big robbery. What path would I be taking from here? Where would I be going from here?
Make an investigation check.
How dense is the forest as well, by the way?
Fairly dense, yeah.
Yeah, that's 8.
8, difficult to say. It all looks like just trees to you. You're not used to this kind of trajectory of terrain.
Yeah, I do my robberies in a big city. Yeah, tracks.
I want to try and stay just above the trees, like just above. Like I'm using the wind through the trees to glide me through and get me through it quickly.
Yeah.
But I figured that I'm faster above the trees than they might be through the trees. So I'm looking out for torchlight, I'm listening out for horse footprints that aren't ours. The ching 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 of gold, that kind of, I'm looking for all of that.
I'm going to get you to do a survival check for me. I'm going to count this as looking for tracks. So.
Okay. Not bad. So 19.
With a 19, what you do see is sort of about a half kilometer into the tree line. It appears to be like a little trail of smoke and a small glow of ember.
Okay, excellent. So I'm following that. I'm pinning myself on that. And if I see any of them kind of diverging off that anyway, it would just be, the quick whistle, and with Hatsu looking up at me, the quick, like, that way, like I'm just gesturing that way or wherever.
Okay. Yeah, so you kind of put everyone into it. Like you triangulate, just take Richard's term, everybody into that direction. Whilst you guys don't see what she sees because it's just slightly above the tree line, it's dark and stuff. She has that vantage point. You guys don't. You follow her with an understanding. Not so much Eos because she's like absolutely beelining, but I will say that Dash and Slate, as you guys are like on the horse and going, you like look over and you just see Hatsu keeping up with you on foot. There's just this like, what the fuck is that? Like.
I'll just kind of catch Slate's eye and give him the, you seeing this shit? Without saying it.
Hatsu almost looks like he's blurring between spaces. He's moving and it just kind of like he's kind of like he's moving at incredible speeds for any kind of living creature you've seen, but a human in particular.
For Slate, the conversation with Dash is going to be one of just looks, like somebody giving CPR onto the horn the whole time, just looking like, what, you seen this? And he's just like looking back and just doing the howl again and again and again, and I'm just like, I can't break from what I'm doing, but I'm kind of like, I can see this, but I'm kind of busy.
Can I also just, you said we see Madriana kind of going for gesturing. Do I get a sense, is she kind of shut the fuck up kind of thing, or haul ass?
Good question. Rhino?
Can I determine that from her at all?
Do you need me to do like a sleight of hand to show how well I'm gesturing or anything like that?
No, I'm just curious what way you're actually guiding them. This is a direct question to you rather than me.
Oh, right. Okay. So, like I said, I do the whistle, which they'd have heard by me a few times, so they know it's me. And essentially, because I don't need to use my hands to fly, like, I'm putting my hands together like this, and I'm like pointing like that. So there's no
You're
like, oh, which way's the hand? I can't see it. Double hands.
You're creating an clear arrow with your body. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Grant. Perfect. So we just haul ass that way, I guess.
Also, can I judge distance? Like, how far behind this do we seem to be now?
At this point, as you approach the tree line, like I said, about a half kilometer. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you
so
barely
then,
see it, and they don't see it at all, so.
So half a kilometer, I know that to be, 500 yards or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming Hatsu would see this probably more than anyone, just because I know his perception is pretty good too. But what she'll do is she'll swipe 5 times, and then flat line, which basically is like 500 feet. So it's 500.
Okay.
Oh, he's
500 yards.
very familiar with the concept of clicks, so he kind of gets what you're trying to say, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, just keep it on. I'm getting there. I'm tracking them in as quick as possible.
Okay. As you reach the sort of tree line, Eos, because I'm going to say you get there first, just the immeasurable speed that you're moving at, you sort of slide to a halt on the horse and see that it's not very easy to navigate your horses through. So, using again your natural animal instincts that you have developed, like you understand animals, I should say. You're not like animalistic. I just mean you understand animals. So you take a look around and you see 2 discarded horses a little ways down. And you recognize that they probably are the horses that were taken from the stable initially.
Good. Perfect. Okay. Eos will cling on to the horse she has, go towards the other 2 horses, and and the other 2 horses is going to just gesture them to move off, go away.
Yeah, try and make them go back. And they start to. They start to move off and go back. Slate and Dash, you see as 2 horses just kind of go by you.
But then she's going to kind of align herself next to a tree and keep the eyes off for the other guys, because she can see well in the dark. She has keen senses. She can determine things.
Nice.
With the 2 horses passing me, I assume that we're not far off. So instead of doing, like the blasts and then waiting a minute, I'm just going to start going blast, 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 blast. And then as I get close, put it all away so I'm ready for what's happening. And because I know this is the end. So this is just a quick load of blasts. This is the last chance for anybody to hear anything. Put my stuff ready and get ready, because it can't be far if 2 horses have passed it, because it immediately means there's no riders, which means whether they're dead or whatever, they're on foot or they're on the ground regardless. So
right.
I know to gear up and get ready.
No worries. You all reach the line of the forest. Realistically, you would have to proceed on foot from here, or by wing, I suppose.
Yeah, stand above the tree line, keeping the smoke in my line so that I know where.
No worries.
Hatsu will blast through as well.
No worries.
Okay. Dismount, I guess.
Dismount and start going. Okay. You make your way through the forest. It's dark. It's hard to see, but I think all of you a majority of you have that sorted. I think Slate, you might be struggling here at this point.
I'm going to do what I always do. I know that Dash can see and I know that I can't. So it's going to be like the blind leading the blind kind of thing. I'm just going to put a hand on him and make the best of it.
Oh, I've had my sunglasses on all this time. I look like an absolute dickhead.
Always.
Just because of the sunglasses?
Yes, of course.
Eos goes.
So what she's implying.
Are you moving as a group or separately? You're splitting the party?
How dare.
I mean, I'm technically separate because I'm above the tree line.
But you're staying with them, or are you flying ahead?
Oh, well, I think me and Hatsu, we're still busting straight ahead.
Okay. So split the party.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amadrian and Hatsu will arrive certainly a few minutes before the rest of the group. As you approach, you can see that there's clearly some kind of tent set up here, but it has like 5 tents rather than just 2. And there's the crackle of a campfire in the background.
Do the tracks lead to this place?
Yeah. Heavy footprints. 2 sets of heavy.
Hatsu would stop abruptly and go into stealth mode.
Okay. Roll a stealth check for me. Just tell me the number then.
Mm-hmm. It is a 25.
25, yeah, you're well hidden. And Madrona, what do you do? You hiding as well, or you?
I am going to be quiet, but obviously I'm kind of floating around above, like I'm watching as well, so I don't know. There's nothing that says it gives me disadvantage because it's just my movement, but I don't know what you want to... Because I still have to flap occasionally.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say you have disadvantage because you're up. You're up high enough.
Okay.
There are certain circumstances where that might cause a disadvantage for you. This isn't one of them.
Fair enough. Plus it's windy and stuff, do you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not one.
I think this is a time to use my inspiration.
Good time. Good time.
Good time. Yeah.
Careful with it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
A second, that one. Some things just aren't meant to be, buddy.
What?
That's
Well,
crazy.
if that's the case, like, if I understand that I'm being too loud, I am literally doing the superhero landing in the camp, fucking...
It was that beans on toast earlier, man.
You let go of like your wings, you move down and you land, and your wings cover you for just a moment. You stand up, and as you do, you look around and you can smell something's cooking.
Oh.
Like someone is
like
making
that.
a meal. Yeah, something good.
Something good?
Oh yeah,
Or
maybe
something-
bacon or something. It could be. Yeah.
Is it bacon or is it baby? Like,
Well, my cat's here, so we'll go with bacon. You take a look around. I'll get you to roll investigation for me here.
thankfully that didn't roll like shit. 18.
So there's a few things happening here. The first thing is that there's a campfire in the middle and it's blazing and it looks like a bonfire. It is not a small campfire by any stretch. It's rather large, which would be why you could actually see it from such a distance. Second thing is that nobody's moving within these tents.
Is there any secret fucking like hatches in the ground? Like, is there like an underground tunnel?
You take a look around. It doesn't seem like this is kind of that kind of place. This is a resting point of sorts.
But there's no one here.
Not at the moment. Hatsu, what are you doing?
He would sneakily investigate the area as well to kind of get the jump on whoever
Okay.
is there to
You
rest and stuff.
you find a magnificent looking slart. Like, it's beautiful. Like, there's like this big, it's kind of mahogany wood. It has actually glass in it and stuff like that. It's not like ramshackle like you guys would be. You have a nice one, but this is magnificent. There's 2 horses on it and there's a road ahead of it. So there's definitely the ability to leave here. But the horses are here and the slart's here.
So he would get the impression that they're the horses that should be there from the capacity and stuff.
You've seen
They
2
are
horses
still
leave,
all
so these
there.
aren't the horses from town. These are definitely different horses.
I see 2 horses leave from
You saw
that
earlier.
point.
Yeah, earlier on you would have seen 2 horses leave. There was they passed Dash and Slate. Eos saw them first. It was 2 horses
Oh,
that were
yeah,
like
yeah.
they were the 2
Yeah,
horses
yeah.
from earlier in town by the looks of it, yeah.
They're at that shack.
They
Oh,
are
no, I'm confused now.
Okay.
Now the place that I'm observing now.
there are 2 horses here attached to the slart. They have nothing to do with any horses you've seen previously. They seem separate.
Yeah, all right. But does it look like that some horses might have left from that point? So in his mind, he's thinking, okay,
Oh, I see.
they had to drop the horses there. Maybe
Gotcha.
they had to further progress with different horses.
Yeah, make a survival check. Sorry, my brain is like super slow today. Every day, but especially slow today.
That
19?
is a 19.
No horses have left this place in a long time. Like, these horses got here a long time ago. There's no footprints leaving this area. There's no hoof prints leaving this area.
So would you get the impression that this is kind of a public place where people would rest and somebody would provide?
I can't answer that for you. That would be for you to tell Hatsu.
Okay.
So is there one of these tents where those tracks lead to?
These look
The
like
ones
used
that we've been
tents.
following?
Yeah, these look like used tents, yeah.
No, but is there one of the 5 tents where those particular tracks we've been following goes to?
If you're investigating the tents, it'll be separate checks, but you, like, in terms of tracks and stuff like that, this place looks like it had quite a few people here quite recently, not just 2.
Okay.
Like, there's footprints all over the place. The fireplace has melted a lot of, like, this. There's a big bonfire. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to check the tents then.
Okay. Make an investigation check. At this point, Slate, Dash, and Eos, you guys will be coming up on the tree line towards the tents here.
Hell yeah.
So it's 23.
You know what's really, really, really cool about the way we play D&D? We have maps.
No!
And I really like maps.
I knew where this was going.
I
I like
really
maps.
like
That means I get
maps.
to stab something.
Why before our long rest?
Stabby, stabby.
Oh, it's a lovely map.
It
Thanks.
is a lovely map, actually.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Very nice map.
Inspiration for the DM.
Thanks.
Don't give him.
I'll take it. And I'll use it right now. Madriana, you open up one of the tents and you hear...
I'm dying, or...
Asthma?
Inside on the ground is someone laying there. Now, I'm not sure if you know this person or not. Because I'm having a bit of trouble remembering the timeline. But some of you might.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's your one.
Oh.
Oh, that clears
She
things
brought
up.
us to you in.
Amy wasn't
Brought her
there.
I didn't,
Amy
yeah, I didn't
wasn't
think-
there. Take it
So
to
this
the
is how we met her in Broadedeer. She brought us to the underground thing to Amidriana.
Oh, that's her. Okay. Right.
So
But
you would have
she-
seen
she-
her, but not.
She was already inside. She just did bring us to that
Yeah,
place.
she brought us into the thing, led us up
Oh
to.
yeah, she
Sorry, yeah.
entered. You're right.
So,
you're
so
right.
Amidriana mightn't know her, but she would have seen her.
Yeah, I know of her, yeah. Is she injured?
Very. Make a medicine check.
I'm keeping my wits about me, though, because she might be a victim as much as anything else. As in, like, she's not with the people that stole the money. 16.
She is very badly burnt, Madriana.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Never.
This fucking fire creature.
Very briefly, I go to Slate, Hatsu, and Eos. As you find 2 very burnt bodies in front of you. And they look quite familiar as well. In fact, Slate was just calling for them.
Shit.
Oh,
As
fuck.
Hatsu would have recognized, he would move over to the closest body to check.
Make a medicine check.
I'd like to assist in that because I'm proficient, so I'd also.
Can
like
I? Let me just check.
Oh, no, you fucking did, Riper.
I would use my healer's kit right away.
Okay.
I have a question lore-wise.
Sure.
From all of our understanding from, the Arcanum and our classes, but also from meeting the Lunarkin and learning about their history and reading all the fables on the walls and all the different things, we know that they have, well, as far as I know, they have regenerative abilities. So bearing that in mind, the assistance I'm giving is with that in mind, that even though it might look like they're gone, that I'm thinking, well, they may not be, and maybe they're able to come back from this. So like an archaeologist digging in the dirt, I'd be like taking away some of the burn and trying to look at like a small patch of skin and see like, is there any rejuvenation, any like, is there still blood in the skin? You know, like, you know, if you touch it and lift your finger, does the blood come back up to, you know, that kind of little things like that, not just pulse and basics. Trying to see, because I don't understand their physiology, but I know, or at least I think I know, that they have that. So therefore I'm looking for signs of it in any way, shape or form, just to see if there's a possibility that they may still be somewhat alive.
They're in humanoid form, or human form, I should say, because they're both humanoid forms. They're in human form, and one of the things that stand out to you is as you lean down to Eldrick, the one who you had difficulties with for a lot of this, like, his eyes are like open as he lays there. Nothing appears to be necessarily healing.
So would Hatsu get the impression that he would be stabilized from the actions he does with his healing tools?
You use your healing kit, and you lean down and you try and use the various different things that you have available to you. You're starting with Eldrick, I assume, then, since that's who we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm going to get one of you, are any of you proficient in medicine that are there, not a Madriana, but the others?
I am.
Okay, I'll get you to do a medicine check for me on Eldrick.
Oof. 6.
You lean down towards Eldrick, and there's nothing that signifies that he's alive. You kind of shove on him, you move him, you try resuscitation. There's nothing that signifies that, and you look across and you see that Rona is very much in the similar boat. Adriana, Nora is still struggling to breathe.
Because I don't know, the other two are over there. I just call back to the group. I need your help. Nora's over here. She needs help.
Hatsu runs over.
Same.
Sure.
Is very conflicted about everything.
Dash and Eos, are you guys running over? Or are you staying with the Lunarkin?
She's staying with the lunar folk.
I'll stay with Eos in that case, just to make sure she's not alone. I'll say that this looks familiar, doesn't it?
Why and how?
Don't know. I'm just gesturing over to the horses. Should we release them in case this goes bad?
Wait a moment. Maybe we could put the guys into the Slart and head for the lunar folk?
Do I get a sense of how badly she's hurt from what I can see?
That would be a medicine check again.
Can I relay the information that I've gotten from my check to be able to help with that?
Yeah, okay. You can give advantage on that. Yeah, that's fine.
$18. What I'm looking to do effectively is I know that I have several ways to help someone who's injured.
So does Dash.
Some being physical in terms of like potions and in terms of healing word, etc. So what I'm looking to do is to see, is she savable, and if so, what's most applicable to her wounds and status, if that makes sense.
She is very badly burnt. There is a handprint across her chest that looked like it was gripping upon her, and she's struggling to breathe.
I have a quick question. The thing that was given to the group by chance, is Dash aware of that?
I'm not sure.
What are we talking about? The potions?
The suppression thing.
The collar.
The color.
I don't think Dash was there, if I remember correctly.
Okay, grand. In that case, Dash is just kind of going to have a sudden like realization, look at Eos wide-eyed, and dart over to the rest of the group, shouting, "Get the fuck back!" Because knowing what happened after the old man that time,
Okay.
he kind of has a suspicion what's coming next.
Nora looks towards Slate with nothing but terror and pain in her eyes. Run!
And still going and be like, she's about to fucking blow, screaming it at them.
Unfortunately, Dash, it's just a little bit too late.
Fuck.
As a small flame begins to emerge from her, and the flame grows larger and larger and larger.
On a point of order, as far as I know, Hatsu, you have the collar in the bag.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, you guys have plenty of time to talk about it.
No, you... Benjamin?
Echoes through the trees. I lost my voice there at the worst time. Echoes through the trees as a very familiar face appears once again. You went in search of danger, and you found it. And next week, when we pick up, this is going to be Baby's first raise threat. And I wish you all the luck in the world.
But where's the fucking bank robbers?
They were
Question.
just a bait. Yeah,
Good question.
they were the bait. That was the guy that dropped the coin. He
You know,
did
this
it all.
kind of sounds like post-show talk. I think this sounds like post-show talk. Maybe we should end the episode
go,
here.
man.
No post show. Let's carry on.
I would love to, but I am dying. So this is definitely a next week thing. But what
You're
we'll
gonna
do
be
is
fucking dying next week.
we'll pick. Oh, maybe that's you guys, not me. We'll pick up from here next week. We will continue as the Wandering Isles leading adventure party takes on the Inferno. Looking forward to it.
Is this why you always stab them twice?
Dash's redemption. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for the bits and subs and follows. We saw a heap of follows earlier. We saw on-screen celebrations. We saw subs and gifted subs and resubs. And we thank you so much. And thank you for the shout out to Katie, who gave us a shout out as well. Thank you so much. We really, really do appreciate it. And we appreciate all of you. It is always fun and amazing. And I am really excited to see next week. But what I'm more excited for right this second is to take a little break, get some tea, sit down and watch these guys do one hell of a post show and break everything apart. What was that? What was that dice? Major is just trying. We will continue here next week at this exact moment.
Well, no, it'd be 4 hours earlier.
We'll continue here at this exact moment in time of the game. But we will be here at 7 p.m. Irish time, as always. Looking forward to it. Yeah, baby. The cat has come to say hi. Come here, say goodbye.
Oh, I thought you were just talking sexy to me.
There we go. You can say goodbye too.
Oh, that's...
Tell him I said pss, 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 pss.
Why is it so small?
Yeah.
Like, I know you're a giant roper, but like that cat's small.
Don't you insult my small cat. Thank you so much for joining
Why
us
don't
today.
you have a jaguar to at home? The fuck?
Or a puma.
She
That
came
was
out
such
of
a good reference.
thank you. She came out of the coin, so it's fine. Thank you so much for joining us. We super appreciate it. We love you very much. We'll be back next week. Please join my friends for the post show. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you so much for being here with us. If you're joining us on YouTube and Twitch, we'll see you shortly. But if you're not, thank you so much for being here. We super appreciate it. This has been a good ride, and I'm really, really excited to see what comes next. Hey, thank you for last minute follow, 1000 Faces TTRPG. We'll make sure to give you a shout out in a moment. Incoming raid? Oh my god, that's terrible timing. Do we just jump straight into the post show? Is that what happens? Thank you so
No,
much.
fight.
Fight would take hours. I can certainly switch over to the post show. We can jump in if it's 15 minutes. Are you guys okay to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we can just do that straight away.
Yep.
So I guess from me, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for the incoming raid, 1000 Faces. That's so cool. We really appreciate you. We're just jumping into the post show, so make sure you guys ask your questions, ! Question in chat, and we will make sure to do our best to answer them. I'm going to leave it up to the capable hands of Kian here to host the show. But from myself, I will join you again Where is the freaking button? Oh no.
That time
This
You
is
got
happening
this.
live.
you did something.
You got this.
It's happening live. Oh my god.
What do you about?
I got
What do you
it.
about
Wait.
time I did something?
Oh, it worked. There we go.
The chemical brothers say, push the button.